not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show live on Thursday, December 11th, 2025. Now, Jake is in a cell next to Sherrone Moore. That's why the lighting is
let me fix the music really quick. We're going to come right here. We're going to end the open. We're going to come here. Unfortunately, I just had some issues today at the house, and so I had to move into a prison cell, and
Jake sent me a picture. Jake sent me a picture out his front window, and I should have put it on here before I started talking about it. The electric company was out in front of Jake's house, ripping up the front yard, taking the.
Bro, I'm literally working today. Yeah, I'm literally working today, and the power just goes, yep, just like that, out. Nope, no warning, no nothing,
notice.
Nothing. So no internet, no power, no nothing. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe this is a smoke detector issue from before. Maybe this is, what is it this time, right? So I go out front, and there are these two just massive electric trucks from the city, literally replacing it, those power boxes you see on the ground.
It's called a transformer.
Just pulling the whole thing out of the ground. Literally a massive crane on a truck, and it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, dude.
So Jake has no power at the crib, so that's never a good thing. We'll do the best with Jake that we can. But it's going to be an adventure. Here's Jake's front yard right here.
Bro,
as you can see, they've ripped out the transformer. So Jake is in a white box. Yeah. Didn't part of the PNW get hit with some bad flooding? Yeah. Like, you mean outside my condo tower? Yeah, it did. Brutal. But is Jake in a mental institution? Yes. That's a padded wall behind him right there.
Right.
So,
I'm just lost in the white space,
Jake looks like he's getting ready to take a mugshot. Who are you, Sherrone Moore?
Yeah, that's funny. We have Sherrone Moore's mugshot today. Maybe I can live up to this, dude. Thanks, Sherrone, for giving me something to work to.
All right, let's get to work on the Monty Show, presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365. You guys, I tell you, compassion and empathy matter. When you're looking for an injury attorney, it's usually one of the worst days of your life. The Advocates understand that. They are ready to serve you how you need it, where you need it, and when you need it. 24/7, 365. Get to theadvocates.com. The best part is they're never going to say, okay, hey, we need you to cut us a check. No, you don't pay the Advocates unless and until they win your case. No retainers, none of that. No consultation fees. No, friends, just clear, risk-free advice. 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. Let's get you caught up on the latest on the Sherrone Moore saga, and it is not good. I can tell you we have news today through sourcing that the Michigan Board of Regents is meeting at this hour to determine Warde Manuel's fate. The athletic director at Michigan, as we know, Michigan now, through some varying degree, has known about this Sherrone Moore situation for quite some time. Nicole Auerbach with NBC Sports and The Athletic tweeting today that Michigan was aware that Sherrone Moore on some level was dealing with mental health struggles. And the inference, of course, is they did nothing about it. It is ugly. And now we know through reporting that is widely available to you. ESPN had it today. Many had it today. On3 has a version of it. That this whistleblower reinvigorated Michigan's investigation into what exactly this relationship with Sherrone Moore and his executive assistant was. Now, the story being floated is the executive assistant went up to HR yesterday and said, hey, I'm ready to talk about this. And she had receipts, text messages. She gave them all of that information. HR went to management, including Warde Manuel, who then went to Sherrone Moore and terminated Sherrone Moore, which then we know that Sherrone Moore went to his former executive assistant's home, broke into the home, and I'm going to play the 911 tape here for you. And I want you to understand that this is very sensitive. It is, for maybe some of you, it could be sensitive, but here is the dispatch conversation regarding Sherrone Moore and the incident at his former executive assistant's home.
Subject just called the caller, told her there's a male at the location and the house attacking her. The state's been stalking her for months. For the Pittsfield unit's reference to domestic, we just got a call from S1's wife in Ann Arbor saying that the subject is suicidal, reference losing his job today.
Suicidal.
He walked out with 7-9. Clear. And just FYI, there's a U of M detective that's going to be making that location as well.
Everybody knew this was going on. And the hard part is, and I know that I am not breaking news here, the hard part is, if Michigan knew about Sherrone Moore's mental issues and his mental health fight, they knew allegedly, at least on a cursory level, that he was having a relationship with this woman. They say they did an investigation that surfaced no evidence or no misdoings. Then all of a sudden, in one day, it all comes to a head. You fire Sherrone Moore. He goes to this woman's house, allegedly, breaks in, allegedly, assaults her, allegedly, grabs a knife, says, I'm going to kill you and me, allegedly, has been stalking her for months, allegedly, according to the 911 tapes. Jake, I don't know how Michigan comes out of this looking anything other than exactly what we thought they've been for months and years now.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's really difficult. You know, I see all the jokes today about like Michigan shouldn't hire, you know, a Michigan man and Michigan needs to change its ways. But this is who Michigan is. And I understand that Sherrone has responsibility on a personal level for this, obviously. But at the same time, like, I have a lot of trouble with the idea that they knew about this, you know, in this kind of this posturing game that's going on around when the evidence was presented versus when it wasn't presented versus when they knew about it. Like, I just think that there's a lot of, you know, unknown there. And I think that given, you know, what went down during the Jim Harbaugh era and what we know about Warde Manuel, I just wouldn't be surprised if they played games with this. And I think it's really sad because, you know, people are going the wrong direction here. Like, Sherrone Moore's life burned to the ground yesterday, man. And we're sitting here and everyone's first priority wants to talk about who's going to replace him versus, hey, like, how was all this handled? Like, what went down? Like, the moment that there was even an accusation, even if you didn't have evidence, you should have had a conversation. You should have asked him. And I would hope that you did, but it's not great when there are varying levels of reporting going on, talking about how, like, you know, Warde, you know, handled the firing, but HR wasn't involved allegedly. And, like, you know, it just begs the question, like, what the hell is Warde Manuel doing in this athletic department? And at what point does Michigan get it back on track?
Yeah, I'd love to know. And one of the things I think is really important, I am deadly serious. I know on this show we love to have fun. We have a lot of energy. We talk sports. We laugh with each other. This is not a joking matter. What's going on with Sherrone Moore is a guy, we're watching a guy meltdown in front of us. And I hope people understand that this encompasses a wife and her 3 kids. This encompasses a 32-year-old woman, the University of Michigan, A man that had everything you could want as a football coach at the University of Michigan. And that all evaporated over the last several weeks. I understand that we're all fans of the or whatever you might be a fan of. I would appreciate not joking about Sherrone Moore's situation. I think it is, when you look at Sherrone Moore and you look at this situation and you look at the allegations that are being leveled and you listen to the seriousness of this tape and you see Sherrone Moore's mugshot, bro, this is life and death we're talking about. This is very serious. And it's why I struggle with a lot of the things we see in the media. And I don't know what went on at ESPN today. I truly do not understand this.
That's a great question, bro.
I don't know. I'm in all clarity, I used to work at ESPN Radio. I've been in that pipeline. I understand their processes. Whatever this was from Adam Schefter was highly irregular.
But what we haven't heard yet is Sherrone Moore's side of this. And he gets his say into this particular situation as well. And I do know that he felt like people had it in for him for an awful long time there while he was at Michigan. He felt like there were people who were out to get him. There are a whole host of things that have transpired here that have led this to be a completely surreal, wild situation that if you heard about it, you wouldn't believe it because it almost seems made up.
Like, what do you mean Sherrone's side of the story? What do you mean he deserves that or he's entitled to that? No, he's not. No, he's not. If we believe the allegations in the charging documents that are about to be released and the arrest information the police let go of, the 911 tape, he had a knife in his hand standing in front of another human being, threatening that human being and himself, allegedly. And I'd remind you, Sherrone Moore's wife called the police and said, hey, he's suicidal. And this was so serious that a detective from the University of Michigan Police Department was already on scene. What do you mean his side of the story?
Yeah, I mean, you don't get to, like, he'll have his day in court. He'll get to tell his side of the story. But I think the conversation is just so much larger than that. I mean, I like the whole, hey, like, he gets to tell his side of the story thing only goes so far when you're talking about him and another human in the same room with a knife. That just, there's only so, like, many ways you're going to spin that. Because obviously you're not spinning it as self-defense, I'm guessing, right? Like, you're not, I mean, certainly that's not going to be your defense. So I was
saying today that Sherrone Moore felt like people were out to get him. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, it's crazy to me. And then to double down and make matters worse, of all people, Taylor Lewan, who, and I'm not going to detail it, but go back and look at the history of Taylor Lewan at Michigan. And then ask yourself, should he be on naming names?
I think that the first name that's going to come up a lot is going to be Kalen DeBoer. I know he's a Midwest guy, Midwest ties. He's got a proven winning track record. Jesse Minter is another name that's going to come up in the NFL, whether he's extremely interested in that or not, whether he wants to stay in the NFL or go to college. I think Michigan fans would really like to have him. Kenny Dillingham, a guy that's at Arizona State University. Last year took his team to the playoff with a group of guys that were probably less talented than the rest of the college football playoff. Mm-hmm. He's a winning head coach. And then Matt Campbell is probably the last name on my list right there, not in any specific order. But I would look to Matt Campbell, and the way I hear Josh Pate, who is the future commissioner of college football, Matt Campbell's a guy I would look how dry that ink is on that contract.
Like, what was that? Matt Campbell, I can tell you, Matt Campbell's not leaving Penn State to go to Michigan. And the interesting reaction was, almost immediately. And again, I'm not for nothing. I'm a nobody, right? Like, we just do this here little show. Jake does it from a jail cell. I do it in a custom built studio. You know, we just do a little show every day.
Program.
And our college football sources and people that I haven't talked to this particular agent source in 6-8 months, texting me saying, I don't know what ESPN thought they were doing with Taylor Lewan talking about our clients. Like, do you really think Kenny Dillingham's happy that Taylor Lewan brought up his name today? Do you really think that when you listen to Taylor Lewan talking about all of these coaches, do you think any of them are excited to be on that list? Because I'm telling you they're not. Because sources also told me, point blank, Michigan is, quote, radioactive right now. And it's at a point where you listen to Adam Schefter, a Michigan alum who is a noted Michigan supporter and homer, Taylor Lewan, a Michigan alum and a noted homer. You listen to these guys bring up Kalen DeBoer's name over and over and over. And I am telling you, I have heard from 5 college football sources, Kalen DeBoer has zero interest, not a little, not a lot, zero interest in the Michigan job. Like, I don't know what ESPN is doing here. I have no idea why you're allowing a guy like Adam Schefter, who is, I mean, inarguably the number one source in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
How do you allow him to get on ESPN and defend Sherrone Moore this morning?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that ESPN, you know, I think it goes without saying that they're not. I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they're saying to Adam Schefter like, "Hey, you can't say this or that." I think Schefter does his shows and goes on there and just kind of shares what his opinion is and tries to do it in a professional way. And I think that the issue with topics like Michigan for Michigan Man is that they feel compelled to defend Michigan in any way possible, including, you know, saying things like Sherrone's got to tell his side of the story. Well, unfortunately, dude, you don't get to have the benefit of the doubt. You don't get it both ways. Like, yeah, no, legally, you're innocent until proven guilty, but it's pretty damning what happened yesterday. And I just think that sometimes the hysteria around Michigan being this university of higher learning and, you know, just an incredible educational institution and, man, their athletics are amazing. No, they're not, dude. Like, yes, you can get an education there. If you want to be a lawyer, great. Like, okay, I'm sure they put out great people, but a college athletic department is led by its football program, and your football program is burning right now. So I don't want to hear that, you know, Michigan is in some great place and it's a top job right now, because it's not.
Yeah, and I think the hard part for a lot of people to understand is I always equate these things to match. I've said this about Penn State. I'll say this about Michigan, Michigan State, all the scandal-ridden universities, USC during the Pete Carroll fallout, all of that. You're not always in love. Right? Like, when you're married, you love your spouse. We love our wives, right? Like, we love our wives. You're not in love every day, right? It's a choice. When you have something like this, the last 5 to 7 years at Michigan, which have been just a complete and utter disaster since COVID, you're not in love with Michigan. You still love Michigan. And you're going to defend it. And you're going to be out there. I am surprised that Adam Schefter put himself in that spot. I am surprised. And I guess I'm really not with Taylor Lewan. He's not a journalist. I actually love their podcast. Bussin' with the Boys is a really good podcast. If you don't watch it, I recommend you watch it. Him naming these names, and I want to play the bite again, because listen to how confidently and how arrogantly Taylor Lewan, he just rolls out these names like, oh yeah, these are all candidates for the Michigan job.
I think that the first name that's going to come up a lot is going to be Kalen DeBoer. I know he's a Midwest guy, Midwest ties. He's got a proven winning track record. Jesse Minter is another name that's going to come up in the NFL, whether he's extremely interested in that or not, whether he wants to stay in the NFL or go to college. I think Michigan fans would really like to have him. Kenny Dillingham, a guy that's at Arizona State University last year, took his team to the playoff with a a group of guys that were probably less talented than the rest of the college football playoff. He's a winning head coach. And then Matt Campbell is probably the last name on my list right there, not in any specific order. But I would look to Matt Campbell, and the way I hear Josh Pate, who is the future commissioner of college football, Matt Campbell's a guy I would look how dry that ink is on that contract.
Look, just casually throwing out names, Kalen DeBoer, like, when agents are describing Michigan as radioactive, like, what are you thinking? I don't know. I expected more out of ESPN.
I just think it's the way he said it. I mean, everyone can talk about candidates and names, and that's part of the conversation. But
how dries the ink on the contract?
Yeah, I agree that it is the way you went about it. It is the way you said it. It is the confidence and arrogance with which you spoke the names and shared it. And I just think I don't know, man. I get, this is what I always say about like Pat or some of these other podcasts. Like people, the issue is you put Taylor Lewan on ESPN. That's the issue. Like you thought that was a good idea with this topic. Like I don't care who you are. If you're a Michigan man, if you're biased towards Michigan, you shouldn't be on ESPN. And
Adam
I understand
Schefter should not be talking about Michigan.
Yeah. Like, you shouldn't be talking about Michigan. I know. Let me fix this for ESPN. How about Adam Schefter talks about the NFL? I know, earth-shattering, rocket science. Have him do what he does. Like,
well, Jake, I don't even have a problem with Adam Schefter having some very, very narrowly limited opinions. When you are a journalist, your opinion should have almost no space in your delivery. But you cannot get on, and I'll play the bite again because I want you guys to understand I'm not just being a red ass about Adam Schefter. This is a guy who is a journalist. He's written books. Remember where he came from, right? He came from the NFL circles, the insider. Like, this is a guy that is a journalist at ESPN saying this about Sherrone Moore.
But what we haven't heard yet is Sherrone Moore's side of this. And he gets his say into this particular situation as well. And I do know.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh, Sherrone Moore deserves to be heard. He does? Not now. You know why? Because Sherrone Moore's still in jail. He is in custody. And we're talking about how Sherrone Moore deserves something? I'm amazed by it. And obviously the other known guy is Dave Portnoy at Barstool. And again, Dave Portnoy is a guy, as far as women and abusive women, that does not have a great track record. I, again, tell you that I think Dave Portnoy is probably the most influential Michigan media member because he's got reach. But remember that this is a guy that's on Big Noon Kickoff. This is a guy that works at Fox. And when you listen to this, understand he is paid to be on college campuses every Saturday. At what point did we erase the line? Because if I'm an executive at Fox, if you're an executive at Fox, are you happy to hear Dave Portnoy talking about this?
And I put on my Michigan hat. I put on my Michigan shirt. And I said, we're going to talk about this. We're going to face the music. And I don't know how many other leaders from schools would do that when this type of controversy has no commitment. Said, let's head this face on. Let's take it on the chin and let's deal with it. So that's a credit to the institution, the school, and me right off the bat. Second, there's been rumors clearly about this going on. Everyone's like, oh, they waited till the signing deadline. They did this, they did that. I don't think these people understand how the law works, how an investigation works. We had to investigate. And the second we found out that there was wrongdoing with this staffer, which the school has reported, we cut ties with him. It was the right thing to do. Now, lots of schools, people making this into some, some huge controversy. I mean, I can go down the list. Bobby Petrino, Hugh Freeze, Penn State, a whole different level. Art Briles, Brian Kelly, institutional chaos at Ohio State. This is
tattoos.
A crime if in the college football world, but not really in the real world.
What?
Wow. That's on Fox. That's Wake Up Barstool on Fox. This isn't a crime in the real world. Well, actually, he's being held on assault allegations. And by reporting, he's surrounded by mental health professionals because he broke into a woman's house with a knife and grabbed a knife and said, I'm going to kill you and me. Oh, but this is a football. No, Dave, it's not. And this is a guy who works for Fox and is on Big Noon Kickoff. And we're so, bro, do you understand that Michigan didn't take action the second they knew? According to wide-ranging reports, Michigan knew about this as early as at least in the fall, but by some reports last spring, almost a year ago. And we're supposed to believe, oh, they took action the minute that they found out. Come on. I don't know when they knew. And frankly, it almost doesn't matter to me. Here's the hard part about Adam Schefter. Here's the hard part about Taylor Lewan. Here's the hard part about Dave Portnoy. You're all Michigan men. What did I say on TikTok last night? This is now the definition of the Michigan man, the great vaunted Michigan man. Jim Harbaugh, Connor Stallions. Should we keep Taylor Lewan? Should we keep going?
Sign stealer guy.
Dave Portnoy, Jim McElwain, all these guys. This is who Michigan men are. This is what Michigan men do. Warde Manuel still has a job of this hour because this is what Michigan men are. This is what Michigan men do.
Santa Ono.
Santa Ono. We repress people's First Amendment rights. We lie, we cheat, we steal, and then we play the victim card. And then when Sherrone Moore's in jail, being held on allegations of assault with a deadly weapon, well, this isn't a crime. It's not.
Cheating, lying, and then playing the victim.
Which is exactly what Michigan is doing right now. Because that's what Michigan men do. That's why, how many years have I been telling you guys? And you know how much I like to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised your arm hasn't fallen off yet with the 10-day run we've been on, bro.
Well, the last 10 days we have been nails. But how long have I been telling you guys? Eventually, when you lie to yourself and tell yourself that you are the moral compass, that you are the one, we're doing it right, it's all their fault. When you hear all that, and it's usually your own voice because you're standing in an echo chamber.
Me?
But yet your head football coach is accused of assault with a deadly weapon and having an affair with his secretary that led to a baby and a pregnancy that was not followed through to the end, because I want to be kind, when he's married with 3 kids. And this was immediately followed by the fact that Juwan Howard is not somebody you want to meet in a layup line. That Matt Weiss is not somebody you want trying to figure out your social media password. That Jim Harbaugh, you don't want that guy feeding your homeless kid cheeseburger. Like
via social media.
The list is endless because this is what Michigan men are. This is what Michigan men do, and this is who you are now.
And
there's no getting away from this.
And it's all going to culminate with Warde Manuel. It simply has to. The snowball has been rolling down the hill for how long now, right? Like, how many years have we been leading to, man, is Warde going to survive this one? Is Warde going to survive that one? What about Warde? Hell, is Santa Ono got bounced? Well, what about Warde? I mean, wasn't Warde part of this? What about Warde? Like, dude, how long can the program go on? How long can Michigan be seen to be doing business this way? Because, again, the best thing that Michigan can do is not hire another Michigan man, right? The best thing that Michigan can do is not bring in more Michigan men. Like, bring in people who are high character, like have done it the right way, have a track record of high integrity, and go about your business. To which I'm going to keep asking this question over and over again, and I don't care if it's beaten into the ground, dude. How high do you have to go at the chain of command at Michigan to get someone who actually gives a damn about treating people the right way? That's what I want to know. How like do we need to go to the president? Do we need to go to the chancellor? How far do I need to go?
But here's my point. And I know I said this yesterday, and then we're going to get to the comment sections. Thank you to everybody watching the show. There's over 6,000 people watching right now. Thank you. Make sure you hit the like button. I'll say this until I'm blue in the face. If you want to get away from this behavior and you want this behavior to stop hiring people with ties and affiliations to Michigan. Stop hiring Michigan men. Don't call Jesse Minter. Don't call him. Stop hiring people. Oh, but he knows the culture here. That's exactly the problem. Because what's the culture at Michigan? He understands what it is to be a Michigan man. Well, maybe you need to redefine what it is to be a Michigan man and find somebody who doesn't know what it means to be a Michigan man.
Yeah, Michigan man has lost his way, bro.
Let's level set. Again, let's refresh and level set what it means to be a Michigan man. Let's not worry about winning games. Let's instead worry about making quality human beings who don't go and ruin the lives of other quality human beings. Because that's what happened at Michigan. And that's what's been happening at Michigan. And I will again tell you, go look at the 7 arrests on staff since Jim Harbaugh became the head coach at Michigan. Go look at all of the careers and resumes that were destroyed by your cheating scandal. Go look at the young people across this country who suffered unthinkable indignations at the hands of Matt Weiss, allegedly. Just think about that. Think about, in totality, with everything we know now, from Sherrone Moore in jail with mental health professionals, all the way back to cheeseburgers for hungry kids. How many lives have been ruined since the pandemic thanks to people collecting paychecks? Those people who are collecting paychecks at Michigan, how many lives have they destroyed? Countless lives, hundreds and thousands, thanks to Matt Weiss. Thanks to Connor Stallions, thanks to Jim Harbaugh, thanks to Santa Ono, thanks to Warde Manuel, thanks to Sherrone Moore, thanks to Jesse Minter. It is what it is. And you gotta, yeah, Steely, maybe we should stop talking about Tattoo Gate. You know, but is it? It's worth it to win, is it? Because let's just forget all the lives you've destroyed. Look how much money you've now lost on this. Lawyer, because you're going to pay a settlement here. And you're probably going to pay some to Sherrone Moore because there are receipts. And if there's a lawsuit, you certainly don't want to go through discovery on this one, guys.
No, you don't.
Right? So you're probably going to pay a settlement to Sherrone Moore. You're certainly going to pay a settlement to his former executive assistant. You're going to pay lawyers on those. You're still bailing out of the penalties you got from the NCAA. Dude, it's hundreds of millions of dollars. So, you know, he sold the cow for magic beans. There you go.
Okay.
Good to see you, my guy. TCU James, hail to the cheaters. Not wrong. Chad Perling. If there's anybody from BYU, Notre Dame, or a military academy that would be a good AD at Michigan, bro, I don't even know. I have no idea. I really don't know who that would be, you know. But I where do you even go? And again, I know I said this yesterday, and I'll keep saying this. Go and find people who have zero affiliation or experience with your university. You want to change the culture? Go find people who have no idea what it is to be a Michigan man. Let them determine what it is to be a Michigan man. You know, that's
that's what you should do. But
that's
I'm not
where I'd
confident
be.
they will.
That's where I'd be. You know, like I just think that and again, this is what I continue to tell people. Michigan didn't win a national championship. Nobody recognizes that. I was talking to a college administrator, to an athletic administrator, who said, "What national championship? Nobody recognizes Michigan as a national champion.
Nope.
Nobody. That is, dude, tainted asterisk. That's not even enough. That is not even enough at this point. Right? I mean, it's wild to me that people are looking to look past it. Mike Smith, Mike, good to see you today. Rip Spin, please post that over and over until the point gets through. Okay, who's Rip Spin? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, bro.
Rex Kwan, the Matt Weiss thing isn't even completely over either. No, we don't even know the beginning of it. Chewy, is Jake in the void?
Something like that, dude. Yeah, I actually, yeah, something like that, man. Yeah.
It's funny. People are actually missing your shoe wall today, Jake.
Oh, so now all of a sudden the Jake can't put his shoes on the shelf the right way crowd is like, where are all the shoes? It's funny how that switch up works.
I wasn't going to read it because Jake gets red assery every time Marcus texts me about your stupid shoe wall. Marcus says, the white slate makes me miss how terrible and how messy Jake's office is at his house. I want Jordan's pointed in the wrong direction.
What's the right direction then, dude? I guess I'm just uncultured. What's the right direction then?
Heels out. No toes pointing out. You can't show a shoe with the toes pointing at the camera ever. It is a sacrilege. I guess the national championship is not the only thing with an asterisk next to it at Michigan. Yeah. And I think that's one of the interesting parts of this, you guys. Let's talk about who's next, because I think this is a really interesting question. And we have put a lot of effort in on this show today trying to figure out who's going to be the next head coach at Michigan. And it's funny reaching out to college football sources, agents, our network of contacts. I was told today that Michigan is radioactive. That is the word that a very prominent agent used. And I think it's close. Kalen DeBoer wants nothing to do with this job. I think he's made it very clear, according to my sources, he's focused on Alabama's run through the college football playoff. I think, with all due respect to Taylor Lewan, and I mean with whatever respect is due Taylor Lewan, you're not getting Matt Campbell. Why that name is even brought up. And I think the thing that a lot of people are struggling with is the quality of the Michigan job today. Because remember, this is a university that doesn't have a president, right? You don't have leadership at this university. And I'm including Warde Manuel in that discussion. You don't have leadership. Who's going to make this hire? Because I'm in the crowd that believes you've got to get the next head coach at Michigan in place before the portal. Because it is incredibly damaging, in my opinion. If you are the University of Michigan, if you just skate through here and you do not have an athletic director, whether it's Warde Manuel or whoever you want to point to, if you do not have an athletic director and a president in place by the time the portal eligibility opens up, because remember, you can get in the portal now going forward at Michigan, but the portal opens in January. It's not like we're talking about April, May, June, July. We're talking about December. He was fired December 10th. So there is no limit. Well, yeah, 5 days. The portal opens in January.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I've been telling you for weeks and weeks, and I know that all the Michigan supporters on this show tell me I'm crazy. I've been telling you for weeks and weeks and weeks. Bryce Underwood's going to get in the portal. Oh, well, look at that. We just happen to have Bryce Underwood's Instagram profile. 19, I think that means 19. I'm not the smartest guy. Student athlete. Interesting. It doesn't say the University of Michigan anymore.
It does say BryceUnderwood.com, though.
Hmm.
Okay.
Bryce Underwood's verified Instagram account no longer has the University of Michigan in it. You've got to get this done now. And I think you absolutely have to hire a guy that's beyond reproach. You cannot take a risk. I saw all of the, and has anybody, multiple of you. Here you go. You cannot hire John Gruden. You just can't. Why can't you hire John Gruden? Because he was fired in disgrace and he's currently suing the NFL over a matter that involves women and relationships with comments he's made to women. Cannot hire him. Cannot hire him. I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that's pretty straightforward, and I think that Michigan has a choice. I mean, if it was me, I would be going down the path you're talking about, trying to get someone before the portal and all that. But the truth is that Michigan does have a choice. I mean, you can go that route, or you can go the other way with it, where you're like, hey, we're in so deep here that we're gonna play the long game here. We are going to do whatever it takes to get the right candidate for this job. We need to get someone who is beyond reproach. I agree with that, who has a perfect track record and has never been in any type of situation. And, that takes 3 weeks or 2 weeks or whatever, great. If that's going to take us 90 days, great. But we're going to get our right guy, and then we'll deal with the consequences. And part of me really kind of feels like that for Michigan is the better route, only because you've had so much turmoil. The program is burning at a level that, I don't really feel like we've seen before. I mean, You're talking about the face of your program, with a mugshot. Like, this is not good, dude, at all.
Yeah, I don't know where you go. Jed Fisch should be the call I would make. I mean, honestly, Joel Klatt today talking about Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame. How? Help me. Help me understand it. How are you going to, what is the, and I'm not ripping Joel Klatt. This is Kalen DeBoer leaving Alabama to go to Michigan. How? What's the calculus on that? Where does it math logically that you're Marcus Freeman and you've been told, and on national television, Pete Bavacqua, the athletic director at the beloved Notre Dame. Thank you. Pete Bacavo straight up said Marcus will be the coach here for the rest of his life if he wants to be. And he will be paid every year to be the head coach at Notre Dame. You're going to leave that to go work for Jabba the Manual?
Notre Dame, our mother.
Are you out of your mind?
Apparently.
How is that possible? Right? So you're talking about this job like it's Alabama or it's Notre Dame, which I think most people agree Notre Dame is, if not one of the best jobs in the country, because you don't even have to go to the college football playoff. And your athletic director is on national TV saying you have a job for life if you want it. You can't count past 10, Marcus Freeman. One of the worst days of my recent life was Marcus Freeman forgetting how many guys are supposed to be on defense against Ohio State.
Listen, it's a process issue, Monty. Listen, we're refining the process, and we're improving our communication abilities, and all that coach speak crap that never seems to fix anything.
You then hear Pete Nakos talking about Dan Lanning and Kirk Cignetti. Let me get this right. Dan Lanning, who also in Jake's neck of the woods, Jake lives, 20 minutes from Eugene?
Yep.
Do you understand how good Dan Lanning has it in Eugene? He's turned down Alabama and LSU. That's how good he's got it. Phil Knight will never let that guy walk unless Dan Lanning's like, no, I'm out. But why would Dan Lanning leave that? He got blown out in the playoffs last year. Didn't win the Big Ten championship this year. Didn't even compete for it. Again, he's a guy who can be there as long as he wants. He's going to leave Oregon to go to Michigan. Where's the calculus in that? Where's the calculus in Sig leaving Indiana when he's got Indiana likely to play for the national championship because they're one of the odds-on favorites doing historic things for the Hoosiers? And it ain't like he's 35 years old. He's like 89 years old.
Oh, I win. Google me.
Where is it math that Sig's going to leave Indiana to go to Michigan?
Well, it maths because, the schemer Michigan people say it maths. There's no actual numbers behind it. They just, they just say, oh, well, it's Michigan. So, man, all these people are available. And all I'm saying is you don't get to have it both ways. You don't get to be a cheater. You don't get to be a liar. You don't get to be a womanizer. You don't get to be a criminal. And then also say, oh, but it's Michigan. What a great job. No, actually, dude, I don't think it's a great job right now, actually. What I think it needs is some fixing. What it needs is somebody to come in who's okay not winning and okay going through a dark period and okay saying, yeah, you know what? Like, Bryce is going to transfer to another school because we're really not a great fit right now. Like, these guys are actually going to leave because we're really not a great fit right now. And I need to understand that this is a 10-year process. And the first probably 3 years are going to be absolute ass. And then once we put all this behind us, year 4 through 7 is probably where we're going to start getting traction.
Rips. Whoa. You got filtered, dude. What could you have possibly said? Somebody named Rips or Win One just got filtered. For what? I don't know, but knock yourself out. Oh, all caps. Yeah. If you're going to type in all caps in the comments section, your YouTube's going to filter you. It's called spam. Jeremiah Champion. Jeremiah, everybody's favorite substitute teacher who's now a millionaire. I am sure Michigan recruiting will take a hit depending on who they hire. Oh, there's no question.
But it's already taking a hit, though. I want to be really clear about this because Michigan man's not going to tell you this. Their recruiting is already taking a hit. Why would I go and play for Michigan when I don't have to? If you're being recruited by Michigan, you're being recruited by everybody in your mom.
Correct.
Like, everybody's out to get you, dude. So don't tell me that Michigan is a maker of men and I got to go to Ann Arbor and I got to be a Michigan man. No, actually, dude, Baton Rouge looks real nice this time of year. Man, I would really love to play at the Shoe, man. That really would be a great thing. Or actually, man, there's this guy, Bob, out on the West Coast who's got a Jordan brand deal too. Maybe I'll go play for him. Like, come on, dude.
Yep. No doubt about it. All right. The Monty Show, running down the very latest in the Sherrone Moore, Michigan saga. Let's see. Who else is on the board? Brandon says, I missed a paid comment. Did I? In fact, I did. The job in Auburn may be more toxic than the water in Flint. Bro, at this point, clean house, open the windows and air it all out. Big Ten needs damage control. Dude.
Oh, Auburn auto-corrected from Ann Arbor, I think.
That's probably true. But listen, I think when his point about the Big Ten needs damage control, I said this about, I've said this for years now about Michigan. Michigan is vital to the success and failure of the Big Ten because you're seeing now in the NIL era, you need to dominate just to have a chance to get into the college football playoff. And Michigan usually is good, but not good enough to win a national championship. We saw that. That's why they're disgraced. They cheated, whatever. They're good, but they're not good enough. You need to act right now. If you are the Big Ten, you have to lobby for Michigan to fire Warde Manuel. I think it is, honestly, and you guys tell me in the comments section, am I making too much out of Warde Manuel has to be the first fired guy? Like, you have got to fire him today and move on with your lives. And If you don't, I think the biggest issue you're running into is you're gonna keep hiring the Jesse Minter guy, the guy who's got ties to Michigan. He's been here, and Jesse Minter, who we told you yesterday, I believe Mark, our guy Marcus, was telling us they had already reached out to Jesse Minter. He's on a show cause that doesn't even expire until New Year's Eve at 11:59. And that's the guy that you're going to hire to be the next head coach at Michigan. That's the problem that we have.
Yes.
That's the problem that you keep making the same mistake. And Jake hates when I say this. As a dad, said this 1,000 times. Right? You can't keep making the same bad decisions and expect a good outcome, a good result. Stop doing the stupid stuff over and over and over, or you're going to get the stupid result. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Jim Harbaugh, all of these people.
Yes.
Do you guys see the absolute waste of humanity that Jim Harbaugh created at Michigan? Everything that he touched, he's that weed in the middle of your lawn that no matter how much you pull it, it just keeps coming back. It just keeps coming back. And you're watching it happen right in front of your face. NCAA sanctions, Sherrone Moore, recruiting. You're looking at everything Jim did when he was there. If that wasn't bad enough, now look at all the people that he brought in there and how much of a dumpster fire they are. We hire the best people. Apparently you don't at Michigan.
Yeah.
Right? Survive the hunt for $5. Taylor Lewan should sit this one out. Don't forget about his role with Brendan Gibbons. Google it for anyone who needs a refresher. Dude, it's nasty. If you just Google Taylor Lewan, Michigan scandal, it comes right up. Survive the hunt. You're exactly right. Exactly right. Joey Harper, Michigan can't keep putting lipstick on a pig and trying to pass it off as change. That's
Facts.
Exactly right. That's
Facts.
exactly right. I just...
But that's what they're trying to do. That's my problem, dude.
Yes.
I can't escape the feeling that that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, like the Portnoy thing or Luan or any of these dudes are all trying to say, oh, well, gosh, Michigan is the best job ever. And everybody's interested. No, dude, the fact is actually, no, they're not interested. Actually, like dudes are starting to realize when you go to the Big Ten and you work at Penn State or you work at Michigan or you work at Northwestern, like there's a stigma. People are not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like you damn well better run a perfect program, because if you don't, there will be questions asked. And this is the separation of haves and have-nots is widening. Like we always focus on like the Baylors of the world and these programs in the ACC that can't compete on the football field. But this is the same thing, just a different category of suffering. It's a different category of struggle, man. It may not be financial, but damn, you're paying a lot of money. You can afford it, but you're still paying a lot of money. So I just can't help but feel like, dude, like at some point it's okay to say like, yeah, you know what? Like Michigan's going to take a step back here and it's not going to it's going to be a minute. Like Michigan has to reset itself.
But yeah, and I think that has to start with Warde Manuel being terminated. I mean, he's just overseen so much death and destruction at Michigan. And, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal what he's overseeing. Chris, dude, you tell me how Taylor Lewan has a job.
Because time heals all. That's how Luan's got a job. Time heals all. That's how.
Yeah. Working for a uni, I know the red tape takes forever to get a pink slip issued. Yeah. True. Boyd Lake, the Michigan program stinks from the head down. Yes, it does. If Michigan keeps this up, the 80s movie Red Dawn is going to take the Wolverine reference out of the movie. Dude, you're not even kidding. You're not even kidding. Jake, if you were making a decision, who would you hire at Michigan?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really tough one. I think that Michigan is a program that obviously has a lot of, it has a lot of factors to it. I mean, I would definitely be going with a seasoned, tenured individual, not a younger guy like, the Bob Chesney kind of candidate is not who I'd be going after. I would be going after someone who has been around this game and this process for, 15, 20 years, older candidate, someone who can just get you through this time, who maybe loves the game of college football, but, maybe isn't concerning themselves with winning national championships every single season. That's probably who I'd be focused on. And the thing is, Michigan's going to tell you, well, we're interested in DeBoer. We're interested in the top candidates in college football. But the problem is those guys aren't interested in you, man. Like you can't go after another Michigan man. You can't go after the top candidates in college football. So if it was me, I would be going after someone who is absolutely bulletproof from a character standpoint. Absolutely, positively, as mentioned before, without reproach, man. You can't look at this candidate and be like, yeah, he's got a checkered past. No, he doesn't. He actually has a great past. He's improved, every place that he's been. So that to me is the criteria. Not, oh man, is he a Michigan man? Is he in the Harbaugh tree? Did his dad's cousin's wife 10 times removed work at Michigan? Like, that's not what we're looking for, dude. We're looking for reliability. We're looking for consistency. We're looking for somebody who can reset the system here. You need to take your medicine. And again, that's why, to me, the umbrella question of the day is who is making these decisions? Like, I know it's the board of governors or whatever, but who on that board? Who is the voice in the room saying, like, dude, we have to move on from this. We have to separate ourselves from all this nonsense.
Yeah, I don't have a great grasp of who they'll hire. I think Jed Fisch is the natural fit, not Brain Kelly. Brain is a nice guy, but
he's
Brian
got a huge
Kelly,
head, though. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, no.
No. Oh, you mean Brian Kelly? Yeah. Yes, John. The big house is turning into the outhouse. And we talked about this with TCU James yesterday, who hates Oklahoma State. He was going on about how Michigan's got this beautiful stadium. The big house is not a beautiful stadium. It's a big stadium and holds a lot of people. But that doesn't, it's not if you remember all those years ago, Utah fan, when Travis Wilson and, Drez Anderson, who else was on that team? Kenny Scott, obviously. But you look at that crew that went up there and they won. That place was empty and it was silent. It's not a great home field advantage. In my opinion, it is not a great home field advantage. David Persons for $2. iBetting Manual has gone after this current meeting. Yeah, it's going on. According to our sources, the Michigan Board of Regents is meeting to determine the future of Athletic Director Warde Manuel and whether he will continue. And I can't believe they would allow him to continue. That would be shocking if they allowed him to continue. I mean, I don't even know what would be the answer for that.
If you allow Warde Manuel to continue, dude, if you allow him to continue, now it's no longer Warde Manuel's fault. Now it's someone above him's fault. And
you're condoning his decision making.
Yeah. If you allow him to continue at this point, I don't know what lie you're telling yourself to make yourself feel better about it. Like,
it's an interesting question, I think, for sure. I mean,
there's no way to feel good about what he's done. There's nothing you can say where you're like, oh man, he's been a great athletic director. He has. I mean, yeah, he's been a great athletic director. If you want to lose all respect for your program and take like 10 years worth of a step back morally and ethically, I mean that's the biggest problem is that Warde doesn't
100%.
prioritize running a high character athletic department, and that's why I think it's rich that everyone wants to criticize, like, everyone has held Mark Harlan's feet to the fire with the BYU incident. But it's funny to me that people won't hold Warde Manuel's feet to the fire for all the stuff that's gone on under him, man. And what's funny to me is he just hides behind the scenes. No statement from Warde, no nothing, no leadership, no comment, no nothing. And I'm just sitting here wondering, like, this guy's along for the ride. This guy just is I honestly don't know what he's doing. He's probably packing his office right now. Let's be honest, because there's no way anybody. Yeah, there's no way.
He knows, right? He knows.
He has to. I mean, how do you not like? And this goes back to the how long has Warde known? I mean, at a minimum, he's known since the late October, early November. At a minimum, and I think
my opinion, based on the things I've heard and we've seen, my opinion is they knew before kickoff of this football season that they had an issue with Sherrone. And I think that they didn't want to take action before the season. And then they allegedly went into his office. We heard reporting yesterday and took his phone 2 weeks ago. So they knew before the Ohio State game. They knew I buy into the, hey, they didn't want to lose this recruiting class. My opinion is they knew. My opinion is they knew. Oak State used to be my team, James. Now I hate Oak State. I love TCU, and I drive a car that is really terrible.
Bro, you can't be serious with this take right here.
If they want a character guy, UM needs to hire Lance Leipold from Kansas. They'll win 9-10 games a year, but won't get you in trouble. Okay. Yeah, that's it. What you couldn't come up with K.O. Gundy today? You know. All right, let's run through some comments. If random YouTube knew, he knew, and he allegedly knew Moore was dealing with something heavy. Well, and if they knew in the fall that Sherrone was dealing with mental health issues, bro. Ted Nahas. Okay. Lincoln Riley is taking the Michigan job. Why would he leave USC? And again, I think Lincoln Riley's a really interesting one because we've heard so much about Lincoln and Fight on Natties and I on this show. We're having a big argument about the merits of Lincoln Riley. And I can tell you, knowing tens of USC boosters, I know a ton of them. Lincoln Riley's at USC. And I don't think there is anything that you could do right now to get Lincoln Riley out of USC into this current situation. I just don't see it. And I think it is very difficult, very, very difficult to argue that until they fire Warde Manuel, this is not going to be an attractive job. Because I know this is going to be unpopular amongst our Ohio State fan base, and I know we have a ton of Ohio State people on the show. I think it's incredibly dark times in Ann Arbor. But this program will rise from this. I don't think Sherrone Moore will ever work again. That's just my opinion. Michigan will rise from this. And maybe at some point they win a national championship that people recognize. Maybe at some point you get credit for not being a bunch of scumbags. That won't happen until Warde Manuel's not the athletic director. I have told you guys for years on this show, that he is one of the worst administrators in the country. It must be
for
5
how
years.
long? Yeah.
Come on. Husker Magic, taking somebody's phone is a violation of somebody's privacy. Actually, he doesn't own the phone. The University of Michigan owns the phone. He uses their phone. And understand it's called contract law. So actually, no, it's not.
You can't be serious that you don't understand that that's a company phone.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, is this really that difficult to understand?
Come on. Rex Kwan, remember Better Off Dead? When the race starts, go that way really fast. If something gets in your way, turn. That's Stadium James. Yes, it is.
Yeah. You never want to see the back of the Honda. You never want to see his trunk.
Yeah. Michigan is a dumpster fire, and what makes it worse is that no one there is willing to see it, let alone address it. And the brand's going to recover. But how telling is it you don't have a president in place? You're about to not have an athletic director, and you don't have a football coach. It's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. I don't know how you keep spinning this, right? And we can go round and round and round about this. There is no question this is a damaged university right now. And I think when you, again, I'll play the Dave Portnoy bite, because I think this is who Michigan fan is. You are complicit, but you're also exacerbating the problem. You're making it significantly worse because you won't live on the planet of Earth.
And I put on my Michigan hat. I put on my Michigan shirt. And I said, we're going to talk about this. We're going to face the music. And I don't know how many other leaders from schools would do that when this type of controversy, no commitment, said, let's head this face on. Let's take it on the chin and let's deal with it. So that's a credit to the institution, the school, and me right off the bat. Second, there's been rumors clearly about this going on. Everyone's like, oh, they waited till the signing deadline. They did this, they did that. I don't think these people understand how the law works, how an investigation works. We had to investigate. And the second we found out that there was wrongdoing with this staffer, which the school has reported, we cut ties with him. It was the moral, it was the right thing to do. Now, lots of schools, people making this into some, like some huge controversy. I mean, I can go down the list. Bobby Petrino, Hugh Freeze, Penn State, a whole different level. Art Briles, Brian Kelly, institutional chaos at Ohio State. This is
tattoos.
A crime if in the college football world, but not really in the real world.
Like,
how dumb are you, dude?
What reality
Honestly.
do you live in, bruh? Listen to that. Like, how does that get into your brain and you're like, yeah, that makes sense? For a guy that has such a checkered past and works for Fox, he said that on Fox Sports. And works on Big Noon Kickoff.
And we wonder why there are more Michigan men in the world. I mean, it's just a joke, dude. It really is a joke. And I don't know. I don't understand. Sometimes I wish our world worked a little differently, man. I wish that takes like that were not considered credible. I mean, this is why I don't enjoy Pat McAfee. This is why I don't enjoy Portnoy. This is why I don't enjoy the masses, because there's no way to say this is not a crime in the real world. This is only a crime in college football. In fact, it is a crime, dude. He's at someone else's house with a knife threatening her, allegedly. Like, what do you mean it's not a crime?
Dr. Cheese, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by the show. B-ball coach hit another coach. Yeah, go Google search Juwan Howard lay a handshake line. See what hole that takes you down. Ted Nahas. And there are reports Lincoln Riley was talked to take over the program. No, that never happened. That never had. We talked about that and no. Okay, Michigan fan. I get it. You want to feel good about yourselves. The Board of Regents has frozen their process. There's one name that we all know and feel pretty confident about that Warde Manuel called. And some people believe it was Tuesday he made that call. Today's Thursday. To Jesse Minter at the LA Chargers. That's an easy. They have frozen the process. Nobody's been offered a contract. No, nothing. This is like, Michigan fan, you're not helping yourself. No way Marcus Freeman would take that job. No way. No chance would he take that job. Jim Choi, Portnoy is a lowlifer. He's going ballistic on social media today. Let him go. Monty, it was inevitable that everything was going to come crashing down, but people... hose? Okay. I think it was inevitable. Yeah, what a clown. What a clown. And all of this 3 weeks before the portal opens. Ooh. I mean, it's just...
Why would you play there? Why would you ever go there?
And I think it's really difficult. If you're a Michigan football player right now of any note, you're certainly in the portal. You're in those The thing that people don't understand, and again, Michigan fans going to get upset and distressed by this. The truth is, all those guys have contacts already. They're already talking to people. NIL agents and agents of college athletes, they're constantly in contact with athletic directors and coaches. Anybody at Michigan, and I tried to explain this to people yesterday on the show. It almost doesn't matter when the portal opens. The decision's made long before the portal opens. It's just a matter of punching in some paperwork, man. Filling out a form. The portal, it doesn't mean, okay, all right, it's whenever, what does the portal open, January 2nd or whatever? Oh, okay, I better start calling some coaches and athletic directors. You really think that's how this works? Like, come on, guy. You got to wake up to the fact, if you're a Michigan fan, that you've already lost, in all likelihood, Bryce Underwood. Unless you were somehow able to hire a quarterback guru as your head coach, he's likely gone.
As he should be.
And nobody will blame him. Nobody will blame him. Falala. Freeman makes under $7 million. Is he getting more? Hey, Freeman doesn't make under $7 million. Go look at his bonus structure. You guys understand. Here's something else. Go look at total compensation numbers. Go look at total compensation numbers. Marcus Freeman gets Under Armour money. Marcus Freeman is making well north of 13. I think his total comp is close to $13 million. Marcus Freeman is well paid beyond comprehension.
Yes.
Kirby Smart is the highest paid coach in college football. And by some accounts, he's making $19 million total comp. Bonuses, and that's just in football. But you got to remember, they all get graduation rate bonuses. At Georgia, they get team SRT bonus. Probably too much.
But notice the team SRT issues have died down recently. So
well, win another natty this year, and they might hopefully not ever reappear.
Yeah, win another natty, and we're picking right back up where we left off.
The only time I ever see Portnoy talk is clips on his show. My life is better for not seeing him more. Truth.
Agreed.
He's the biggest buffoon on TV. Well, that's a tough race. You know. Yeah, so Michigan won't hire anyone until the 2nd if they are smart. No. Guy, do you guys think about this stuff before you say? As Michigan fans, I think you don't. Think that through.
Why would you do this to yourself?
So your argument is players can transfer 10 days after a new hire. Players can already transfer right now. Today. They can already transfer. So when the portal opens, it's insignificant to them. They are in no rush to make it official. I can tell you that no player at Michigan is in a hurry to let it publicly be known they are bailing on the university. Because what if you hire their dream coach? What if Nick Saban comes out of retirement to coach Michigan? What if Tom Brady? What if like somebody's dream? You think they're going to torch Michigan by leaving and then, I want to stay? Come on.
Nick Saban is a better man than you are.
How can you have so little reference to understand? These decisions are happening behind the scenes. There's a very good chance. If people are telling me that Warde Manuel's fate is being decided as we speak, it's probably already been decided.
Yes.
I'm just little old Monty on the old YouTube machine.
Hey, Morty.
Now, I've also been doing this for 30 years, but my point is, Michigan's already made the decision. The players likely already know. You just gotta relax. Jake D. Jealousy turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your own alibis. But it's just the price I pay. Destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes. Yeah, hey, Michigan man, you want to keep playing Mr. Brightsides? That's been all over the place today. Yeah, Tom's been real quiet on this. I would agree. TM Martinesque, 16. Getting a lot of non-member comments today. Always makes me nervous.
This person was here yesterday.
Michigan would need someone like Saban to turn Michigan athletic program around. They really would. You need somebody that's bulletproof. And I don't know that you're going to get that. I don't think you're going to get that. I really don't. Chad Henne, everybody's dream.
Yeah, wow.
Bad day for Michigan athletics. I feel very disappointed and embarrassed. It's a tough time to be a Michigan fan. And I understand why guys like Portnoy are out in front on this. I understand. I totally get it. That's who Dave is. As a Michigan fan, I would just pipe down with your arrogance, which I know is difficult to do because you guys do love yourselves.
I just think it's funny. Michigan fan always puts himself in a tough spot in the argument. You know, you always say these things that are, you know, not particular to this comment, but like just you know, some of these other comments we're reading. I'm just like, dude, do you have no idea that like that's a company phone? Do you have no idea that you know they you know are privy to information?
Contract. Do you guys understand it's built into their contract? They have to turn over their electronic devices, their phone. They all get phones, iPads, and computers. When somebody from Michigan management walks in and says, I want your phone and I want it right now, you're going to give it to them. Because they can terminate you if you don't. I hope people understand that is in almost every coach in the country has that in their contract. Almost every employee who gets a computer or a phone from a company is in their contract. Like it's Jake has to give me his phone as soon as I ask for it. You know, I actually don't pay for it. Oscar says Portnoy McAfee are jokes. Pat's not a joke. He's a different slice. The problem for Dave Portnoy on this whole thing is he has a terrible history, especially when it comes to women. Like there's a clip floating around of him making jokes about assault and he has a terrible history. But again, it's what I said earlier. If you're just tuning in on the Monty Show, presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. This is who Michigan men are now. This is the definition of Michigan men. And you listen to the people who are out front defending them. It's the same folks that were like Lone Wolf with Connor Stallions. No, the FBI wasn't on campus. Jim Harbaugh was giving hungry kids a cheeseburger. All the stories that we've heard repeatedly. Oh, no, there was no LLC with Connor Stallions and little undersized running back guy, Balake. And then the documents come out and they're like, those are forged. And then all of a sudden that LLC got dismantled, dissolved. Like, you can't possibly believe that the world is against you. Right? Like this whole thing with Shannon Sharpe today. Shannon, you probably shouldn't be talking about Sherrone Moore. After the horrendous audio that came out of Shannon Sharpe, after the heinous accusations and the settlement, you want to try and have some empathy for Sherrone Moore. Now, you're probably not the guy that you don't want to be out in front on that like you are.
Yeah, it's probably not a great look, bro.
Right? Like that's the problem is that these are who Michigan men are. And sadly, Shannon Sharpe's not a Michigan man. He's just a guy who acts like a Michigan man.
Yep.
Right? Hero 75 for $5. Thank you for all the paid comments today. I appreciate it. Michigan fan will freak when the university has to make some no-name the highest paid coach just to make them deal with toxicity of the place. Yeah, I think, and I know there's a lot of Michigan fans in here today. How many Michigan fan do you want Warde Manuel fired? Do you want Warde Manuel fired? I think that's a very interesting question.
I mean, good luck defending the decision not to fire him. I mean, if we get Michigan fan commenting they don't want him fired and he's amazing, I just would love to hear an argument as to why.
I'm really curious if Michigan fan believes Sherrone Moore has culpability in this, the destruction of that university. I'm really curious what you guys think of Warde Manuel. And apparently, and this is probably going to look very small on the screen. I believe this will look very small on the screen. And now I have too many images in my file bank because Jake never cleans it out. There is a statement that was sent out today. Michigan President Domenico Grasso, who is their interim president, sent out a statement today. And I don't know if you guys can read this or not. Let me get the comment off the screen. Let me get the banner off the screen. I'll read it for you if you cannot. Dear colleagues and students, earlier this week, the Department of Intercollegiate Athletics dismissed head football coach Sherrone Moore with cause for violating university policy by engaging in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. When the findings of the university investigation into Coach Moore's behavior were presented on Wednesday, we immediately terminated his employment. So you're saying you investigated and you got the findings and fired him on the exact same day you got the findings. That's going to be in a lawsuit. There is absolutely no tolerance for this conduct at the University of Michigan. None. I have been in close communication with the Board of Regents, and we are united in committing to doing what is right. To doing what is right. This breach of trust by Coach Moore is painful for many in our community. First and foremost, the individuals directly involved in this situation. Yet our swift and decisive actions reflect the university's staunch commitment to a campus culture of respect, integrity, and accountability.
Dude,
get out of here.
Dude, shut up. Like, shut your mouth, dude.
All
What?
of the facts here must be known, so the university investigation will continue. I encourage anyone with information about this matter to confidentially contact umconcerns@jenner.com. Our community has worked diligently in recent years to strengthen a safe and respectful environment for all. Oh my God. We must remain steadfast with those efforts. Each of us shares an obligation to uphold our values. If you become aware of any violation of policy, I strongly encourage you to report it through the university's compliance hotline. I have tremendous faith in the University of Michigan and the principled work our faculty, staff, and students carry out every day. Together, we will move forward with integrity and excellence and reaffirm our dedication to serving the public good. Sincerely, Domenico Grasso. Oh my goodness.
Dude, is this real life? Like I know that your interim president didn't just try to sell us a bill of goods, that they acted swiftly and that they're committed to doing the right thing.
Oh my goodness.
What?
And maybe I'm just being a red ass about this, you guys, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. Does that reflect the actions and behaviors that we've seen over the last year at Michigan? That does not reflect what we've seen. I'm going to say this. What else would he have said in a statement that he knew was going to get circulated?
Oh, he had many other things he could have said. Oh, I think there's plenty he could have said. He can't speak on the nature of the crime. He can't speak on, stuff directly related to the investigation. Okay, I get all that. But you could have
But
easily taken the opportunity. Huh?
He wrote a statement and released it. This is, again, according to Pete Thamel. Interim President Grasso sent the University of Michigan students and faculty this letter today. He drafted this thing and he made the decision to send this out. This wasn't him like, hey, President, do you have a comment? No. He drafted this shit and sent it out.
Yeah,
that's
my problem.
unbelievable.
So I agree that you needed to send something out. I agree with that. Yes. But what my issue with this is that there's a sales pitch in here. There is pandering in here. There is this whole idea that you acted swiftly and that you did everything you could and that you're committed to doing the right thing. Well, sorry, dude, I'm not convinced you're committed to doing the right thing, mainly because you guys haven't been doing the right thing for the last decade, brother. It's been how long? Like, I'm not just going to give people a free pass on this. And I get it. I'm not Dave Portnoy, right? Like, I'm not Taylor Luan. I'm not Pat McAfee, right? But we do this show, and I feel a responsibility to say, like, bro, like, no, it's actually not good enough. Like, you texted a statement to the student body and faculty saying that as soon as you found out or as soon as the evidence was presented to you, you went ahead and terminated his employment. So what you're actually doing here is you're leaving out the part where you knew about it for 6 or 8 weeks, at least at a minimum, and did nothing about it. Because the truth is, if you knew, if there was allegations, if there was he said, she said happening about Sherrone Moore and this staffer, he should have been suspended with pay until you had evidence, and you should have done a full-blown investigation with your HR department. And if it got to a certain point to where you thought there was criminality involved, law enforcement should have been immediately called. But you didn't do any of that. So sorry, when it's on the screen, you're saying, hey, well, we did everything we could. We fired him as soon as we knew about it all. No, dude, actually, you didn't. And we all know that, and you're making it worse. That's what I don't understand about this institution. I didn't grow up. Just a newsflash. I wasn't alive, or I wasn't, comprehending at a high enough level to appreciate when Michigan was incredible to everybody. Michigan's always been a dirtbag program in my life. Michigan's always been this program that has either you're not winning, or there's a problem, or there's an issue. And I would double down on that by saying the Big Ten, as long as I've been alive, has been full of this kind of crap. The Big Ten is a conference full of this stuff. So I don't really delineate between Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State and Northwestern. I don't delineate between any of it. This conference is riddled with this stuff. And Michigan is just the latest example.
And then I go back to this situation with Warde Manuel, and I think it was Thamel who was saying Michigan knew that Sherrone Moore was dealing with mental health issues. But do you guys remember the description of how Warde Manuel terminated Sherrone Moore? Warde Manuel met with Sherrone Moore one-on-one and terminated him face-to-face. No HR, no security, no second staff. You went into a room alone with Sherrone Moore and terminated him. At a very minimum, when you terminate an employee, which unfortunately I've had to do, I think I've done it 3 times in my career in radio. I've terminated 3 people. I never sat in a room alone with that person. It's like, all right, hey, that's how you get sued. And you're telling me a guy you thought had mental issues, and this guy still is not fired. Although I will tell you, not that I'm trying to be right, but multiple sources are texting me saying Sherrone Moore, Warde Manuel has been terminated. So it's starting to kind of float around that Warde Manuel has been terminated.
Yeah, well, that's just the beginning, bro. I'm glad, and that's, if that is indeed true, that to me was an obvious step in this process, and that to me was like, yeah, there's no way we can continue to employ Warde Manuel. That's just not going to happen. And I think that I don't know. I'm just kind of over every time we talk about the Big Ten. It's either Ohio State's winning a natty or doing something great on the field, and Michigan is in trouble again. You know, or every time we talk about, you know, college football in the Big Ten, there's some kind of scandal or something going on. I have to be honest. Like, I have to be transparent. Like, that's what it always feels like to me. Well, hey, Ryan Day's got another great recruiting class. Well, Ryan Day, hey, his staffers are, you know, USF. Okay, cool. That's great. Everything's going great at Ohio State. They had their issues, though, too. They're not immune from it, but they have put it behind them. I think we can all agree on that. And I just feel like there's always something happening, man. And I don't genuinely feel like Michigan, the leadership at Michigan, cares enough about people to make this right and handle it the right way. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I just that statement upsets me so much because I just feel like it's riddled with biases. It's riddled with half-truths and hey, we're leaving this big part out, and like it's just riddled with it. Like, I don't know how you can believe it.
I can't remember a prolonged period of scandal at a major university like this. And yeah, Mike, Notre Dame AD is upset. He feels like the ACC bears some responsibility for this Michigan situation.
Yeah, dude.
At least we're not talking about Pete Bacavo anymore. Right? Like, but can you guys ever remember a time where, and more text messages coming in. Yeah, apparently this is happening. This is happening. He is, you know what I'm getting? I'm getting texts from multiple people, and you know what most of the texts are? Okay, cool, he's fired, but did you see what Jamil Hill said about Sherrone Moore? What did she say? I didn't see it.
She said she played the race card, essentially. She said that.
Did she really?
Yeah, she said that multiple, she named names of coaches. I don't remember the name she brought up, but basically that white coaches wouldn't have been fired for this and that they all get second chances, and that's why Sherrone was fired. That's essentially what she said. And then you've got on the flip side, in you know, massive irony, I guess, Ryan Clark today and Stephen A. Smith today talking about how Sherrone Moore's, you know, behavior and actions and criminality, it appears, are going to make people judge, you know, black head coaching candidates, and that he was the first black head coach at Michigan, and this is how it went. And I just, you know,
well, that's not wrong.
I don't think it's wrong, but I also don't think that that's not that, to me, that shouldn't be the first reaction. And all, like, I like Ryan Clark a lot.
That's true. I agree with that 100%.
I really like RC a lot, but I don't love the concept of, hey, well, Sherrone just melted down. You know, there's criminality involved. He's in a jail cell right now being held. And the first take is, well, you know, how is this going to look on future black candidates? Now, I'm obviously not black, right? But I also know for a fact that as somebody who's been at ESPN for a long time, Ryan doesn't just say stuff off the top of his head. So while I understand the take, and I don't necessarily disagree, I just felt like the timing of that wasn't awesome out of Ryan Clark.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that, and I don't mean to be distracted, but this is a fluid news situation. Multiple sources are texting me saying that Warde Manuel has indeed been notified he'll be terminated, and that they have not begun a coaching search process at this time. Michigan has not begun the process of hiring a replacement coach.
See, Now we've come to our first thing that I actually agree with Michigan.
Yeah.
Did I not just say this an hour ago?
You did.
You should not be in a hurry to hire somebody here. What you should do is you should eviscerate all issues in your program. As you and I have talked about so many times, you should get rid of anybody with all of this, and you should start from the ground up, because that's the only way anybody's ever going to believe that you're serious about this. If you're just like, oh yeah, next man up mentality, yeah, sorry, dude, you don't get to do that when bro was allegedly at her house with a knife and threatened her life and his. That's not how it works, man.
Yeah, this is a big deal now. And I want to make this clear. I'm just texting with multiple sources. I have not seen this reported by anybody nationally. But I am hearing that Warde Manuel was told today that he is no longer the athletic director at Michigan. And that a complete change in leadership is going to take place at the University of Michigan. And the interim president will make a hire, and that the hiring process of a football coach at the University of Michigan has not begun. In fact, Jesse Minter was contacted, but did not show interest in the position. So I think our previous reporting, is pretty spot on. And that is that Jesse Minter, and if you believe our sources in reporting, Jesse Minter was Warde Manuel's number one choice. But I also think that Warde Manuel got out over his skis, and that the Board of Regents, because we know they had an emergency meeting yesterday, and then they are back together now, and I would assume they made the decision to terminate Warde Manuel as a group probably yesterday. And now they are moving forward with the official process of terminating him. So he has probably been taken out of all position of influence. Because generally what happens is you don't just say, hey, all right, Warde, come on in. You're out. Okay, good luck. Nancy's got a piece of paper and a box for it. It's not how it works, right? So essentially what most processes like, this is a legal process now. Because there is definitely going to be cause here. Warde Manuel has overseen multiple scandals in multiple sports at the University of Michigan. And this is just the latest. It is not the beginning. It is, unfortunately, if he stayed on, my fear is it wouldn't have been the end. And I think with Warde Manuel being fired, I think there is a real good chance that complete and total change is going to happen at Michigan. And I think that's exactly what they needed. Their interim president will have to make a hire. There is no doubt about that. I think the biggest thing now, and this is probably me reaching, I think they're in real trouble. The University of Michigan, this is going to get fucking expensive now. Because you're probably going to have to, you're going to have liability with the assistant, with Sherrone Moore's significant actions here. And you cannot go through discovery. Now, of course, I am talking about the legal process. I think there is going to be an expensive, significant, and drawn-out legal process. My guess is we're going to hear we may hear that Warde Manuel was terminated for cause, but my guess is he is on administrative leave, not unlike the situation at Baylor several weeks ago. You may hear that he's on leave. Warde Manuel is out of the equation, and I think there is going to be a continuing, ongoing investigation to gather hard evidence of cause with probably Warde Manuel, if in fact this comes to fruition. You rarely will see somebody in a management position in an organization like the University of Michigan, which is a massive sports organization, that you have to work really hard to have this level of scandal. You will see that they're going to dot their I's and cross their T's. That's why this statement from the University of Michigan interim president makes a hell of a lot more sense now today. And this is going to be very interesting because I think there's a lot at play. Let's remember, we're negotiating a new college football playoff structure. Michigan has, by some accounts, and again, I've heard college football administrators tell me Michigan is at fault for that because of how poorly Warde Manuel administered the selection process last year. I mean, it just is really, I think you have to take this athletic department down to the foundation. You have to take anybody, and I took a lot of heat from Michigan fans on TikTok last night for this, but anybody that had any contact, relationship, continued friendship with Jim Harbaugh, out. Anybody that Warde Manuel hired, out. Anybody that Jim Harbaugh hired, out, done, gone. You cannot have anybody that was a part of the Harbaugh era, anybody that had a hand in that cheating scandal or that team, out. You have got to send a message. And again, I want to put this statement from the interim president back on the screen because I think now this is incredibly pragmatic. And now it makes perfect sense. We were sitting here, and Jake, I think you would agree, we were sitting here kind of being like, okay, what the heck did he said what now, and how did he say who?
Mm-hmm.
Domenico Grasso, the interim president at Michigan, this makes a hell of a lot more sense now.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Listen to the wording. Listen to the wording. When the findings of the university, listen to this. If you are going to be suing Michigan, when the findings of a university investigation into Coach Moore's behavior were presented on Wednesday, that's called a paper trail. We are stating our position. We didn't know a thing until Wednesday. We had no concrete proof. The minute we had proof, Sherrone Moore was terminated. One-on-one by Warde Manuel in an office with no HR and no security. Do you guys see what I'm getting at now that, and I understand a lot of you, I haven't, and I apologize. I'm going to read a lot more comments here in a minute. But it is, you see where I'm going now. Mm-hmm. This is what we call CYA, cover your ass. You don't purposefully release a statement to the entire staff and the entire enrollment at Michigan. You only do that to cover your ass.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, I don't disagree with you at all. And why do you have to cover your ass? Because you know that someone's breathing down your neck and someone is going to be coming for you. And well, I think that's pretty clear at this point.
Now, and to be clear, Ross Stellinger, who's a lot more connected than me, says that Warde Manuel remains the athletic director at Michigan and will oversee the search for a new coach. So you tell me, which way do you go? He confirms our report. I'll read you his tweet. He says Michigan board members and university officials held a call earlier today related to the situation with Sherrone Moore. Sources tell Yahoo Sports. Now, we only beat you by 2 hours here. Despite reports to the contrary, Warde Manuel remains the athletic director at the school as the school begins a search for its next coach. Now, I tell you, we have two sources and a third we're working to confirm it that are saying the exact opposite. Warde Manuel is not going to have control of the search and has not a search for a coach has not begun. So we'll see, right? Ultimately, somebody's going to be right and somebody's going to be wrong.
I mean, it's an absolute disaster if you don't fire him. I mean, I would go as far as to say it's a black eye in college football. I think that it sends a complete wrong message. I think that you can't. What's the excuse going to be? What's the spin? What? Yeah. Oh, well, Warde had no idea. Warde had no idea that Sherrone was messing around with his executive assistant allegedly. Warde had no clue. Like, what? I grow tired of it, man. Like, I don't know. It is Ross Dellinger. Ross is incredibly credible. I respect the dude's work.
Me too.
I think that there have been instances in the past where Ross got a little ahead of things, but it's few and far between. So, hey, if he's reporting it, maybe he's staying. I don't know. But I just think that I don't know how. It doesn't math to me that you put this statement out and now you're keeping Warde Manuel. How does that work? How do you, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't know either. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Moscow rules, London rules equal watch your back, cover your ass. You're not wrong about that. Brady will not be the AD. Joe Brady? I think people are talking about him being the coach. Oh, Tom Brady. No, Tom Brady. Tom Brady's got other fish to fry. 16 says James Franklin not the right fit for Michigan for a myriad of reasons. Who's talking about James Frank? Bros, do you guys understand all these dudes? Matt Campbell, James Franklin, they just got jobs. New jobs. You're not going to leave a new job. Kalen DeBoer, he's going to coach 2 years at Alabama and walk away when they're in the middle of a run to the national championship. He's not walking away. Come on. God, the board is complicit in this as well. They are letting this cancer fester too long. I am surprised.
How else can you describe it? I mean, if that's true, and again, it's Ross, so.
And I'm just telling you, one of the people that I'm chatting with is saying my source is a board member. Unsolicited, my source is a board member. Listen, man, I get it. There is going to be dissent. And we'll see, dude. They'll make a statement. Yeah. Portnoy is openly saying it on Twitter. That he's staying. I don't follow Dave. I'd have to go look. Dave, how do you spell his name? Porton. There it is. Let's see. Dave Portnoy, Shock the World semifinals starting now. 7:30 Eastern, Michigan State. Michigan State of the State Spaces. Dave Portnoy 20 minutes ago. Is Warde in or out? I'm about to take a shower. Dave Portnoy is telling people he's going to take a shower. Last time I took a shower, Sherrone Moore was fired and ended up in jail. If I miss anything, I'll be back in 30 minutes. Also, tonight I'll be doing a Spaces. Okay. What is he openly talking about? I guess I'll follow Dave Portnoy. Okay. Let's do it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, man.
Dude, I'm just telling you, man, if they keep Warde Manuel, what else is there to say? There is no spin. There is no running. There is no.
No, if you keep Warde Manuel, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult. If you keep Warde Manuel, it's going to be very difficult to get a top end coach. I think as I said before, multiple sources today told me that Michigan is quote unquote radioactive for big names. I was also told point blank by multiple sources, Kalen DeBoer has zero interest in going to Michigan. So I think it's going to be very difficult. And I apologize again. I don't mean to be texting during the show, but I'm talking to some folks, so I apologize.
This is very much a do you want to be first or do you want to be right story. And I really, really hope that Ross's info is credible. I really hope that it's credible.
Well, I don't, because I think college football needs Michigan to be good, in my opinion. I think when Michigan and Ohio State are elite programs, that game is far better and the Big Ten is far better. But if you keep Warde Manuel, my favorite saying again, you can't continue the same action and expect a different result. Right? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes for the last 5 years. And I understand that you just extended him, but what did the president say? We're making the right decision. Making a decision for money is almost always the wrong decision.
But how in the statement can you say that you do not tolerate this behavior on any level and then keep Warde Manuel? How does that work?
I don't know.
How's that
How
work?
do you condone the behavior of the athletic director who oversaw this whole thing? I don't know. I don't know. I truly, I want to understand it. I don't understand it. And I think it's incredibly difficult to believe. And yeah, people are pretty sure. People are pretty sure. Just chatting with some people, asking a college football source. I heard that he is being notified. So I don't know what that means. Everybody seems to think that Warde Manuel is being notified that he's out. But again, I would tell you, go with Ross Dellinger. Ross is significantly more connected than we are. I just don't know.
I
don't know how you keep him.
I like.
It's hard to fathom.
It's hard for me to it's hard for me to really like be like, yeah, wow, they're keeping Warde Manuel. Like, is this is a joke, right? Like, you guys aren't serious. That you're not seriously gonna try and spin to the world that keeping Warde Manuel was a good thing for you, right? Like, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, you can't seriously, as a board of however many people, I'm assuming 10 or more, because that's typically what the board size is at universities. You can't be serious that you're going to sit here and try and tell us that Sherrone Moore is not the responsibility of Warde Manuel, and that Warde Manuel had no idea, what Sherrone was or was not mixed up in or involved in. Like, you're not seriously trying to do that to us. Because, I mean, even the most staunch Michigan fan would understand, I would think, that they're, fool me once, fool me twice kind of thing, right? If you're going to believe that nonsense, then at some point it becomes, your problem. At some point, you're the one that looks stupid. And I can't get down with it. I mean, you're talking about your head coach, the guy that, was the successor to Jim, being in jail right now, being held. And you think it's a good idea to keep this guy when we could spend 30 minutes conservatively putting a PowerPoint presentation together around all the stuff that's gone down under Warde Manuel? I don't know. I don't mean to wax poetic. I'm genuinely shocked if it is true they're keeping him. And again, Ross is saying that he is still, the word Ross used was remains the athletic director, for what it's worth.
Well, that's interesting.
So, I don't know.
TCU James says Brian Kelly's learning a Michigan accent. He's a Youper now. Right? Hawaiian 808. 2 hours ago, Portnoy tweeted he heard Warde was out. Text away, Monty. I'm trying. I apologize. I do. I appreciate this show going back to evenings. Well, that's not good for you. Because also Jake is pretty firm that we're going back to afternoon or going back to mornings when the year flips. I watched when it was prior, then real early, now back to evenings. Yeah, sorry, Sean. John Bistor, UM needs to clean house and start from scratch. Even if football suffers for a couple of years, integrity is crucial, and UM has none. Totally agree.
But John, I completely agree with you, man. But can we really say that integrity is crucial and that UM believes that? Right? Because that's really what I'm starting to graduate to right now as we do the show. I'm thinking about, like, okay, well, how far do I want to take this? Because part of me feels like you put out the statement, because I agree that was a CYA, as you said, right? That was a cover your ass statement. I agree with that. But then don't we inherently have to ask, well, do you guys think that Warde Manuel is wrong here? Does the board not blame Warde for some of this? Does the board not say, like, hey, dude, you're the athletic director, all this stuff went down under your watch, you're just not held accountable to any of this? That's what's incredible to me. And the fact that they would want to keep enduring this type of behavior and material. I just can't believe it.
Yeah, it's tough to comprehend. It's really tough to comprehend that this is what we're doing. And I just don't know how you fix it. Oh, Adam Schefter's tweeting.
Oh, God.
That's about Geno Smith.
Okay, good. That's where he should stay.
Yeah. I still can't believe he talked about that. Yeah, I don't know. I think you have to fire Warde Manuel. So we'll see. Well, and take this for what it's worth. The proper process is not to terminate Warde Manuel immediately, which is why Ross used the word remains. Read his tweet again. You'll see what I mean. Well, we just did. So, but listen, I think it's very interesting to see what this looks like, because man, it's shocking. Yeah, I just keep hearing these names and now everybody is saying that Michigan is targeting Dan Lanning.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
How? Why would you're telling me that Dan Lanning's going to leave Phil Knight to go work for Warde Manuel?
Dude, Dan Lanning's already at a program that's better than yours, mainly because he made it better than yours.
Like that would be shocking to me. Maybe I just don't know ball. Maybe I don't know ball, man.
Am I just so uneducated about college football that I don't understand the value of Michigan's job? I get it. Here, let me wax you, dude. Dude, Michigan has heritage. Michigan is a grandiose job. It is a huge brand. Winning a national championship at Michigan is a career-defining moment in your resume and legacy. The problem is that's not what goes down in Michigan. That's the problem, dude. And if Dan Lanning was to consider Michigan, it wouldn't be now when your program's burning. He's not your hero, dude. He's in Eugene, and he's not going to go to Michigan after he turned down Alabama and LSU.
Schwinger wants to know if you got kicked out of your apartment. Do you have an apartment?
No, I have a townhome.
Yeah, Jake doesn't live in an apartment.
But the HOA
removed Jake from his shoe closet.
Yeah, effectively. They didn't enter the premises, but when you turn the lights off on me without any type of announcement, and I love it. I called a power company today, and they're like, yeah, all the calls were supposed to go out on Tuesday. What, you didn't get notified? No, actually, sorry, dude, I didn't get notified. No, phone never rang, so, thanks.
No, we didn't get notified. We did not get notified. But it's cool, man. This whole thing, and I guess this is what the show is going to be today. Here on the Monty Show, presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. The very latest on Michigan, Sherrone Moore, Warde Manuel, the whole shebang after this from the Advocates.
Injured in an accident? You may be entitled to a bigger settlement, up to 3.5 times bigger. Your initial consultation is 100% free, and we don't get paid unless we win your case. No matter the accident, we are here to help. The Advocates will fight for you because you deserve clarity, you deserve justice, you deserve guidance, you deserve an advocate. Contact us today.
Yeah, I think it is going to be really interesting to see how all the legalities play out. And I tell you all the time, when you need a lawyer, you need somebody who fights the fight that you're trying to fight. And the Advocates know how to fight the insurance companies. That's exactly why they're the best in the business. If you've been in a car accident, if you got hurt at work, they absolutely handle workman's comp. And listen, the Advocates remind you, here we are in the middle of holiday season. Everybody's got their phones. Everybody's out shopping. Kids are out of school. Ice is on the roads. In some places, rain is on the road. Slow down. Be careful. But if the worst happens, get to theadvocates.com, where you can chat with an injury attorney 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Let's see. Because you guys have been phenomenal on the comment machine. Fight on Nanny's. Monty, Orange Juice has just signed another executive order. By the way, Jakey, I'm not a member, but I play one on television. Okay. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I don't know what that means.
Jay Nurin says BYU basketball should be 12-1 going into Big 12 play. Okay. They're very good. That AJ DeBanson performance the other night was
sensational. I
mean, it was an unbelievable performance out of AJ DeBanson. They're going to be very difficult because he's getting better every week. AJ, this whole team gets better every week. I think it's going to be very difficult. Jimmy, USA Today stated that Warde Manuel created Michigan's lawless environment. He most certainly did. Buck stops at the top, right? Monty didn't know the power of the Block M. Yeah, how damaged is the brand at Michigan? Because now we're hearing names like Dan Lanning. I don't believe for a second that Dan Lanning's a candidate for the Michigan job. You turned down an LSU job because you said you had unfinished business. You're going to take Michigan. You would leave one of the prime jobs in college football at Oregon to go and rebuild at a minimum the Michigan football program. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't.
And I kind of tend to agree. No one wants to go coach there. And I think if you cleared house, if you fired Warde, if you blew everybody out, certainly you could get a good coach. If Warde Manuel is still there, I think I agree with folks calling it radioactive. I think that makes a lot of sense. How do you not? Yeah. If Warde gets spared, how do you not? AOL is still non-committal about Warde's job. Okay. Wait, what happened to their electricity? Not my electricity. Not my electricity. Jakey Two Holes woke up this morning with power and then looked out his window and saw this.
Oh. They just turn the power off, bro. Like, what?
I mean, look at that. Just ripping out a transformer.
Yeah, just cut the power to the whole neighborhood. No problem. No big deal.
So Jake is sitting in a WeWork office environment at this point.
Man.
So bummer for you, Jake.
Yeah.
Do you know if the power's back on?
It's 4:00. I hope so. I was told it was going to be 1:30. So we'll see.
Jake needs his Tesla charger. Yeah
seriously.
Chad Perling. Read what is not in the university statement. It does not say anything about them having knowledge previous to the investigation. They must have known something to even begin the investigation. I mean, it's not rocket science, right? It's not rocket science. I'll take the Michigan job for $2 million. Me too. Give me a 10-year contract, $2 million. You guys realize that Sherrone Moore gave up about $15 million yesterday? His guarantee and bonuses were about $15 million. The guarantee was 13.8.
How hard is it? How hard is it to show up at the building and coach football? Like,
coach, it's coach ball, please.
You are paid so obscenely highly. Oh, like to coach football, dude. Like you're not doing sales. You're not walking around, changing electrical transformers in neighborhoods. Like you coach football, dude. Is it really that hard? I just
apparently it is.
I understand it, dude. I'll never get it.
Apparently it is. I mean, I just don't. I don't think it's that difficult. I really don't. And I think the hard part is Sherrone Moore is clearly dealing with some demons.
Yeah.
And I think you have to work that in. Awkward guy. Michigan fans are delusional with their hopes for the next head coach. The next coach is going to be someone out of the G5. I don't know. Ask me in a week if Warde Manuel is still the athletic director, and then go and tell me that you can hire somebody like Dan Lanning. Do you really think Warde Manuel can pull Dan Lanning?
No.
Come on. It is. Come on now. It's Art Briles' situation, basically. Let's not get carried away.
And we don't need to compare it either, respectfully. I just don't think there's no need to compare. I think that this situation at Michigan should just be compared to their track record and the things that they have allowed to happen.
Yeah. Big Blue Horses. These coming lawsuits will be settled out of court undisclosed. Michigan doesn't want more skeletons coming out through discovery. Exactly right.
I wouldn't either if I were them.
Are you guys seeing this story about this Titans sideline reporter? Will Bowling recalled a scene during the Titans' flight home from their win over the Cleveland Browns Sunday. Titan reporter Paul Kaharski reporting that the radio sideline reporter has since been removed from the team's charter flights moving forward. Bowling apparently shared a story from the team plane ride home from Cleveland on his radio show that put Cam Ward in a bad light. Bowling said, quote, "I told a story about a comment I heard on the Titans team charter, and I want to apologize for sharing something that should have remained private and totally off the record. I understand the team plane and the bus are sacred places for players." The original story says Titans defensive end Arden Key getting on the team plane intercom system and telling his teammates to disregard comments that rookie quarterback Cam Ward had made and to enjoy the win. Key's comment appeared to be in reference to Ward's post-game press conference in which Ward seemingly downplayed the victory, pointing to the flaws that still exist in the 2-11 team. Bowling shared those comments on his radio show and will now not be allowed to travel with the team. Good. Dude, what is wrong with people? Like, what is wrong with people? Like, these jobs, you guys, are not difficult. These jobs are not difficult. They're not hard to execute. They're difficult to get. They're not hard to execute. They're some of the most enjoyable times in your life. You have no job security and you don't make much money, but they're fun jobs. Being a sideline reporter is a fun job.
Yeah, you can divulge all your information to Oak State James and, you know.
Who?
I mean, TCU James. I mean, SMU James. I mean, Baylor James.
The Seaman Demon.
Yeah.
You know.
The Seaman Demon.
It's what he is. You know. It is what it is. But yeah, I am amazed by stories like that. I am amazed by stories like that. I just don't know. I don't know. Michigan was alerted. I can't believe that they knew so far in advance that Sherrone Moore was dealing with mental health issues and did nothing. That I don't understand. Boy, there's a lot of people reporting, and I won't name them. There's a lot of people reporting that Warde Manuel's been terminated. So this is going to be very interesting.
We shall see.
We'll see what happens. But I don't know, man. It is going to be it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But is what it is. All right, couple more. Then let's get to some NFL. Can we please talk some NFL today? I know that's not what we do when people are getting fired, but Jeremiah Champion, I both hate and love that that's his new nickname. I don't come up with this stuff. I'm a man of the people. I do what the people want with the
Bro picked up the Seaman Demon nickname on Monday, I believe it was. So, hey.
Because he was talking about in seminary and...
Yeah, and that he took an accelerated course and, I don't know, bro.
Oh. I want to talk NFL and Pete.
Guys, we're not getting NFL today, bro. It's not happening.
Bryce Underwood's contract at Michigan does not include a buyout, according to Pete Nakos. Underwood's camp is paying close attention to who the next hire will be. And breaking, Jerry Neuheisel will not return to UCLA to coach with Bob Chesney. Boy, this has been an ugly day. This has been an ugly day. And now a friend of mine sends me, Adam Schefter getting torched. Adam Schefter getting torched.
By who? The public?
Yeah, ESPN apparently is not happy with Adam Schefter because the reaction to his Michigan thing. If you didn't see it this morning, Adam Schefter went on ESPN on Get Up. And I think it's important to note, today was not a good day for ESPN on the Sherrone Moore story. Right? Sherrone Moore arrested, essentially accused of assaulting his former executive assistant, threatening her life and his life. And in reaction to that story and Moore being fired, knowing all of these details, Adam Schefter said this on ESPN.
But what we haven't heard yet is Sherrone Moore's side of this. And he gets his say into this particular situation as well. And I do know that he felt like people had it in for him for an awful long time there while he was at Michigan. He felt like there were people who were out to get him. There are a whole host of things that have transpired here that have led this to be a completely surreal, wild situation that if you heard about it, you wouldn't believe it because it almost seems made up.
I mean, I don't even know. What are you doing? What the hell are you doing, man? What is Adam Schefter doing here, man? Who thought it was a good idea to go on ESPN today and say that Sherrone Moore deserves to be heard and his side of the story needs to be told? Who told you that was a good idea? Can you not just stick to NFL, bro? Can you not just stick to what you do? And then to make it worse on this great day for ESPN on this story, you've got Taylor Luan talking about candidates that would be the next the favorite for candidates at Michigan. And he's out here just confidently, arrogantly, without a doubt, no question about it, that this is the list. And people are upset that he went on this little diatribe today on Get Up.
I think that the first name that's going to come up a lot is going to be Kalen DeBoer. I know he's a Midwest guy, Midwest ties. He's got a proven winning track record. Jesse Minter is another name that's going to come up in the NFL, whether he's extremely interested in that or not, whether he wants to stay in the NFL or go to college. I think Michigan fans would really like to have him. Kenny Dillingham, a guy that's at Arizona State University. Last year took his team to the playoff with a group of guys that were probably less talented than the rest of the college football playoff. Mm-hmm. He's a winning head coach. And then Matt Campbell is probably the last name on my list right there, not in any specific order. But I would look to Matt Campbell, and the way I hear Josh Pate, who is the future commissioner of college football, Matt Campbell's a guy I would look how dry that ink is on that contract.
What are you talking about, bro? What are you doing?
Huge. We had an earthquake or something.
What do you mean? Like the building
it was
shook or
crazy.
something?
Yeah, there was a huge crash. My whole place is shaking. How about that?
Maybe they're replacing the transformer outside your building.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't understand why ESPN put themselves in this position. If we're being honest, with Taylor Luan and Adam Schefter, and Taylor Luan is probably the last guy you want talking about anything at Michigan because I think it's just such a bad look. And I don't know how you reconcile this if you're ESPN. They've had some really bad mistakes on political stories of ethics and morality. And I just think it's been so long since they screwed something up like this. I think this was a huge mistake having Taylor Lewan and Adam Schefter do this.
Yes. No question about it.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like it's a huge problem, dude. Right. And I don't know. I guess I'm just being over the top with it, but it just feels like a huge issue where I just don't know how ESPN, when you have all these assets and all these resources, how do you get it so wrong? How do you get it so wrong? You know, like that's the thing that I just.
And how is your talent so irresponsible?
Yeah, we've been in this business a long time, right? Like Jake and I, we've been in this business a very long time, and I don't. While I love this business, I love doing this show every day. It truly is the mistake of my lifetime, not being just a massive stud, right? Like I would love nothing more than to be Taylor Lewan, but I wasn't an athlete. And when you're an athlete, you're given so many opportunities, and they just seemingly can never get it right. You know what I mean? And you look at this situation, and I'm not saying Sherrone. If Sherrone has mental health issues, okay, that's it. We're having a different conversation now, right? If Sherrone has mental health issues, different conversation. But what I will continue to say, it's guys like Taylor Lewan, guys like Adam Schefter, how measured and careful the rest of the staff, Mike Greenberg, Dan Orlovsky this morning, I thought was very good. How measured and careful they were. And Taylor Lewan just throwing out, oh, yeah, Matt Campbell. I'd check how dry the ink is on the contract. He's not leaving Penn State to go to Michigan.
The ink isn't dry yet.
And people are telling us that Michigan's radioactive at this point. And you're trying to make the argument that somehow Matt Campbell and Kalen DeBoer, and now we're hearing Kalen DeBoer has zero interest in the Michigan job. He's fully focused. Like, come on, guy.
What constitutes a promise?
Come on. Like, what are we even doing?
We are hot taking. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. It's so frustrating to me. It is so frustrating to me that we just can't. And a guy like Portnoy, I totally understand it. I totally understand why Dave Portnoy is the way he is. He has a job to do. He's got to get people to click. He's got to get people to watch. I totally get it. And Dave's excellent at what he does. I'm not consigning his humanity because that's certainly not something any of us will co-sign. Taylor Lewan, the same. But when we're talking about assault of a female at Michigan, is Taylor Lewan the guy you want talking about this? Adam Schefter, the preeminent voice of NFL insiders, defending Sherrone Moore on ESPN? Is that the way we want to go about the get up? Are you out of your mind?
Apparently. Yeah, apparently.
Right? Like, I just
don't know why it's always got to be this way. You know why? Like, I respect Adam Schefter and his work, man, but why do this to yourself? This is what I don't understand. Like, these guys are not newbies. These guys are veterans of the game. Why not just stick on the side of error here? Why not just say, like, hey, you know, like, I'm not reporting or commenting or doing anything with the Michigan story until we know what. I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to stick to. I'm going to keep talking about the NFL and the Joe Burrow thing and all these other things, you know, until we know. It's not that hard, man. I'm just
not that difficult.
It's not that hard, but you're messing it up again and again and again.
Kurt Myers, Provo Dave.
Yeah. Do all you bandwagon BYU fans feel better about your Provo Dave support? Idiots.
How much Provo Dave did we have to endure the last 2 weeks on this show?
And better yet, how much Provo Dave hasn't been mentioned since you got that ass beat in the Big 12 championship game?
Do we have
to
go
point that out, dude?
Look, jerk face. Do we have to go with, wow, got that ass beat?
Yeah, belt to ass, dude. You got taken apart, and now everyone, now nobody wants to say, oh, well, Dave Portnoy's a BYU fan unless Sherrone Moore melts down, and then he's a Michigan fan, and we want nothing to do with him because we would never do anything like that at BYU. The hypocrisy is so real with that, dude.
Jake, who hurt you?
I despise it. BYU fan aligning themselves with Dave Portnoy for even more than 1 minute is ridiculous, dude. Absolutely ridiculous. Come on.
Went from Provo Dave to Shermo Dave. Oh, my God. Johnny Gonzalez, Glenn Schumann is too good of a hire for UM, and UM thinks they're too good to bring in a coordinator. Yeah, I guess so. I mean... what school did Schefter graduate from? Oh, that's right, Michigan. That's the point. Right? Jake hate. Well, it's not even Jake hate. My point on Provo Dave, you're BYU. You can't do better than Provo Dave. Are you so desperate for somebody famous to pander to you that you're going to embrace Provo effing Dave? Come on, man. I mean, listen, Dave Portnoy is very good at what he does. He brings people to the TV, right? I don't know. Does anybody watch his show? I have no idea. I don't know. You know, it'll be interesting. It will be interesting to see how it all plays out. Still waiting for confirmation on Warde Manuel. And whether he keeps his job. Ross Dellinger at Yahoo Sports says he is keeping his job. The Detroit Free Press says Ross Dellinger works at ESPN. ESPN's college football insider Ross Dellinger is reporting that Michigan's board and other officials from the university held meetings Thursday. We reported that. The Monty Show, if you don't mind. To discuss the Sherrone Moore situation as the former coach sits in jail awaiting potential charges. I didn't rig those charges.
It's ridiculous, dude.
Listen, I we'll find out. We'll find out. It is what it is. Well, Ross said Warde hasn't been fired yet. Yes, he did. Correct. That's right. Yeah, whatever happened to the Donnie and Marie love in that area? Jeez, seriously. Micah Martz, virally, it has been said in the good book, Provo Dave is a cunning man.
Okay.
Jim Choi, well, Portnoy did say BYU bookstore was the best. It is a good bookstore.
Well, God, if Dave said it, it must be true.
Jake, did you go to the BYU bookstore with me?
No. I did not. I don't believe I did.
Oh, that was before your time. That was back in the Will Smith.
Yeah.
That was back in the K-Fan morning days. Napoleon Wilson, Will Smith.
That was back in the Ogie's breakfast burrito days.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Ogie's.
Yep.
God, I love it. I'm so upset that they raised property taxes in Salt Lake City.
Bro.
Oh.
It's going the wrong direction. Average home price in Salt Lake is $170,000, I believe it is now.
Yeah. As a property owner, I am not happy about that. I am not happy about that at all. To put it lightly, But I need to buy a King Sorrow book by Joe Hill. Anyone read Joe Hill's stuff? I do not. Fight on Natties. Wouldn't you defend your alma mater unless you aren't a college educated, Jeff? Oh, boy. Who's Jeff and what did he say? I don't know.
Let's see.
No idea.
Hold on,
Here's Jeff Johnson. College educated and no. Okay, wait. What school did Schefter go to? Yeah, okay, yeah. I don't think, no. Fight on Natties, no. I don't think people blindly defend poor behavior. You don't blindly defend. Am I blindly defending Notre Dame? Am I
Bavacqua?
Bacavo. Am I blindly defending Round Lake High School? No.
We keeping a buck right now. We ass.
You know,
Round Lake High School.
What a crap hole. But yeah. By the way, Michigan is still going to play in their bowl game, the Cheez-Its Bowl.
Man, I'm sure they're all going to be heralded as heroes.
You know, Biff Pogge's going to do the job. You know, which is amazing. You know that guy's like a multimillionaire, right? Biff Pogge.
Yeah, hedge fund.
Oh, is he a hedge fund guy?
Yeah, hedge fund millionaire. Yeah.
I just knew he was super stupidly rich.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, at least I think so. I remember reading that about him, but I don't know. Maybe that's not the main thing.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just know that Biff is a 10 millionaire. So is what it is. Man, it is crazy how many people are saying Warde Manuel's fired. Ross Dellinger out here on a limb saying he's not. So.
But I do agree. See, Ross does this too, though. Ross likes to be like, hey, I'm going to go against the grain, but I'm not going to say they're retaining him as athletic director.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say he remains the athletic director. That way, when I get held accountable for it, I can say, well, I didn't say they weren't firing him. Like, I understand the game, Ross. I get it, dude.
Yeah, it's ambiguous at best. And I think it is. I don't think you can keep him. I really don't think you can keep him. So, but that's just me. I don't know. It is what it is. All right, couple more. Because you guys have been great on this comment thing today. Thank you so much. Warde taking a big pay cut, pulling the Harbaugh play could be. You know, Mr. John, Biff Pogge likes to wear shorts on the sidelines. Isn't he rotund? I thought he was a big dude. Well, Monty, you getting any golf in exchange for this France trip? No. In exchange for the France trip, dude, I can't wait.
I pray for moments like that.
Dude, we're going to Mr. Chow in London. Jake won't go to London with me. He's too scared about what happened last time we were in London. Jake's never been to London.
He's got no class.
We're going to Mr. Chow in London, and I'm here for it. We got our I didn't even know I made a reservation. You have to be approved for your reservation at Mr. Chow. I'm staying like a block away from Harrods. I'm so stoked.
Timothy.
Bro. Jake has less than a week. A week from now, I'll be doing the show by myself because Jake will be off to Never Neverland. We are actually going to Paris together. Are you going to join us from the airplane, Jake? What time are you flying?
Like noon to 2 something, I think.
So you could even do the show. You're a coward. How come you don't do the show live from the baggage claim?
Yeah, sorry, bro. Can't do that, man. Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah. Sorry, dude.
You got to join us on the show next Thursday.
I mean, I will. Yeah, I'll do it from the phone.
I would love to. You don't have to do the whole show. Less of you, more of me. Winning.
I mean, yeah. I mean, at least your power's still on.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Some names you just like to say Gonzaga.
Yeah, you remember Gonzaga, red ass?
Gonzaga. I like Gonzaga.
Biff Pogge.
Yeah, like, come on.
Bacavo. God. I would like to thank Michigan for being such a bunch of scumbags that I have not heard about Bacavo boy in like a whole day.
Juicy.
It's been great that I haven't had to talk about Notre Dame.
Bavacqua.
Because it's really weird it's really fucking weird for me. There's the first F-bomb today. I apologize. It's really fracking weird for me that Landman sucks so bad.
Shut up, dude. Landman doesn't suck.
We'll get
What
into
do you mean?
It's really weird for me to be in a position where I'm like, dude, what do you want the ACC to do? Bacavo. Because Pete Bavacqua, the athletic director at Pete Bacavo-Vacqua, we need the drop where Lasorda says, Bavacqua. It's really weird to me that Bavacqua is out here ripping the ACC, saying that the relationship's been immeasurably damaged because the ACC was out here pushing for Miami to get into the college football playoff. And I say to myself, well, what did you want the ACC to do? Do you know the tens of millions of dollars it costs them if Miami misses the playoff? Oh, but there's a conspiracy theory. Who cares? Why do I care? I don't care. You know why I don't care if there was a conspiracy theory to get Miami in? Notre Dame wasn't good enough to get into the college football playoff. As a diehard Notre Dame fan, we did not do what had to be done. Just win one of those two first games and you're probably in. But you lost them both. And if we're keeping it a buck, they're both pretty average. Miami and Texas A&M, I think A&M's getting exposed. A&M's going to get exposed. But I'm telling you, Notre Dame's not good enough. Oh, the greatest 10-game winning streak in the history of college football. Pete Bavacqua said yesterday, Notre Dame's 10-game run was the greatest 10-game winning streak in the history of college football that anybody's ever seen anywhere. And we're just supposed to believe somehow that, oh yeah,
That's
bro,
bullshit.
We're the best thing you've ever seen. And
we'll say this, and I'm a little outspoken about it. I don't like how Notre Dame's reacted to it.
So
Okay,
Pete
I think Pete's his behavior has been egregious. It's been egregious going after Jim Phillips when they saved Notre Dame during COVID. We all knew, and it was very transparent, Hunter was very transparent about it, the chair, that as Notre Dame and Miami got closer together, head-to-head would be a factor. Okay? BYU lost. They became closer together, head-to-head, and made a difference in that decision. So I think he is totally out of bounds in his approach, and if he was in the room, I'd tell him the same thing.
you got the commissioner of the Big 12 ripping you, Bacavo. So your answer to that was to make up history.
We were shocked, I would say mystified by what happened on Sunday. And just, you know, where my head and heart go, and I know Marcus feels the same way, you just feel for those student athletes on our football team. You know, as I said yesterday, as I said on Sunday, we felt we did everything we could over the course of the season. You know, we lost our first two games. We're not hiding from that. We lost against a really good Miami team. We lost a nail biter against Texas A&M, two great teams by a total of 4 points, and then we did everything we needed to do. We had one of the most dominant 10 games runs in the history of college football.
What? No, you didn't. No, you did not.
How can you say that? How do you get off saying that? That's what I don't get about these dudes.
I don't know.
Do you really believe that, Pete?
I think he does.
Honestly.
I think he does. I think he does. And if he doesn't, he said it with great conviction.
Yeah.
And
so.
I just I don't even know where we go from here. Listen, and I'll tell you, I think we could do a lot worse than Marcus Freeman. We could also do a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And is what it is. But before we get to why Jake hates good TV, I just want to make it clear that Ed Orgeron is He's a national treasure.
Go back in time a little bit. We've had a lot of SEC guys on.
This is on Bussin' with the Boys. That's Taylor Lewan with the white hat backward. I would
Go
point
back in time a little bit. We've had a lot of SEC guys on here. They've never admitted it, but we all know that SEC was NIL before NIL.
Hey, you know,
I love that laugh.
look at it. You know,
We're way past it. Can we now just admit it?
It's all good. Hey, you know what? They say, hey, coach, you know, you've been out of coaching for a while, and how are you going to adjust that NIL? I said, well, it's a minor adjustment. And they said, what do you mean? I said, back then, we used to walk through the back door to cash. Now we just got to walk through the front door to cash. Hey, a joke, obviously.
Big time joke. Big time joke. Everybody watching, that's a joke.
Bussin' with the Boys. Great podcast. Ed Orgeron is a national treasure. And I will fight you about it. Because I love that dude. I love that dude. That is just salt of the earth. Right? Like, that is just salt of the earth.
No question about it, man.
It's everything that you want. What are you working on over there, Jake?
Stuff that we're all complaining about that we don't have. Drops,
what do you mean?
Different things.
Oh, okay. Did you put a new drop in?
We're working on it. We're going through the process, making sure, it's all good.
Okay. Just checking. Schwinger, Ed is the best. Doesn't give Fs. No, that's right. Jake is building a generator. Yeah. Just trying to get out from behind the bookshelf.
Yeah. I mean, dude, a generator would have been nice today, dude. Like, I'm lucky. I am genuinely lucky that the car wasn't in the garage. It was on the driveway. Because
oh my God,
if it had been in the garage, I would not be here right now doing the show. Just saying. Saying.
Fight on Natties. Big 12 commissioner better shut the F up. They did it to a big name brand like Notre Dame. It could easily happen to your little conference. Big 12 isn't part of the ESCPN agenda. Well, okay, so what does that mean? SEC. What does that mean? Help me understand that. And nobody that says this kind of stuff ever is able to back it up. You understand that ESPN is in business with the ACC, the Big 12, and the SEC. They're not just in business with the SEC. You understand that we just had the single largest audience for a Big 12 conference championship game ever on ABC. So this whole narrative that ESPN works so hard to get what is it in anybody's mind that makes you think keeping Notre Dame out, that makes you think keeping BYU out? How does that help? How does that help ESPN? How does it help ESPN to keep Notre Dame out? I've heard that too. Like, oh, ESPN just wants all the SEC teams. Bro, was it? Can we even argue that Alabama didn't belong in? Because that's where most of you hyenas go when you get pissed off about the SEC. Well, Monty, they didn't belong in. Okay.
Come on.
So again, are you so allegedly you're saying that ESPN conspired with the college football playoff and with the ACC to get Miami? Is that the argument? How does that help the SEC? I don't think having Miami in, does that help the ACC? Yeah. Does it help ESPN? No. I mean, when we're talking about, we had the news story on this show. Who effectively made it possible? Who? What are you, an owl? Who effectively made it possible for the Big 12 to survive? ESPN. So how I'll never understand this. And if somebody wants to explain to me how ESPN's got the bias, please feel free. Because they're so invested in the ACC. They are so invested in the Big 12. And do you understand? They're actually saving money on the SEC because of how small that contract was. What are we even talking about?
No idea.
SEC invented CFP. No, they didn't. They did not invent the CFP.
You're losing credibility quickly, bro. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, you're out of your mind, dude. You're out of your mind. But not Notre Dame, and there is the conspiracy. Okay. Notre Dame should have played BYU in the bowl game. No, they shouldn't have. I will just continue to go with this is another one. What's the benefit for Notre Dame playing that bowl game? I'm here for it. I've talked to people at every level of college football about this. Tell me what the benefit, because nobody seems to understand what it is other than goodwill, and Notre Dame doesn't need any goodwill. So you explain to me, what is the benefit for Notre Dame and its players playing in that meaningless Pop-Tarts bowl game? One, breaking news, we don't play for meaningless bowl championships because ain't nobody want to take that trophy home. Nobody cares. Not one Notre Dame fan wants to go on a road trip for a meaningless bowl game. I know that hurts people's feelings. That's the truth. We don't play in meaningless games. Our seniors, Monty, the seniors, they want one last trip, Monty.
Sure.
Okay. Hold on. I need to take this call.
Oh, okay. Monty's getting calls. All right, who else we got in here? Let's see. Jeff Johnson, Notre Dame guaranteed a playoff spot next year to finish top 12. What's up with that? Yeah, what's up with that is it's in the contract. That's what's up with it, and people are pissed about it. And people are threatening, I believe it was Yahoo, I think it was today, had a story on, people are freezing out Notre Dame with scheduling. So, I mean, I don't know. This has been the debate with Notre Dame for years. Hey, if Notre Dame can continue to put together a quality schedule, if they can continue to get quality wins and continue to get into the CFP, they're never going to join a conference because they have no need to join a conference. But again, to your comment here, Jeff, if they're unable to schedule, that would obviously facilitate them having to get to greener pastures. So what's up with it? It's they sold their soul to get in. They don't have a say about who else gets in. But if they're ranked 12 or higher, they're in the CFP. So that's what's up with it. Let's see. Notre Dame. No, I disagree with that, Mike, but that's all right, bro. That's cool. Super League is coming way faster than people think. Couldn't agree more. I think that there are a lot of people who are upset. I mean, this goes back to the Florida State thing. This goes back to, hell, you guys all know. I mean, how many different teams have been upset over the years? Florida State, Bama last year, obviously Notre Dame this year. Like, how many teams and how many programs have been pissed off and upset that they, haven't been able to get in because of the CFP selection process, So that's not surprising at all, even a little bit. I think conference championships need to be done away with. Would solve a lot of issues, sadly. Yeah, but the problem is, man, like conference championships, like you look at the graphic or the bracket or whatever. I mean, in this case, the conference championship matters, but the issue I have with this right here is that you're in a place where you've got two G6s getting into the CFP, and the conference championships haven't really helped you all that much. I mean, Oregon got boat raced last year because they had time off from winning the Big Ten. Will we see something like that again? That's why I think the conference championship thing is tough to just let go of.
Yeah, I would totally agree. You just got to let the conference championship thing there is no, this story about Notre Dame being frozen out of scheduling.
Yeah.
Well, we have a schedule done for like 6 years. So first of all, good luck with that. And second of all, The idea that the SEC and the ACC or the Big Ten would freeze Notre Dame out, you're going to push them in a direction you don't want Notre Dame to go. Because the other thing that I think people don't seem to understand is that you can't, under any circumstance, you can't, and I don't even know how to say it. You can't, under any circumstance, think that you're going to force Notre Dame to do what you want them to do. Because how are you going to do that? What does that look like? When people talk like this, I always ask, what does that look like? Okay, so let me get this straight. You're the Big Ten and you're going to refuse to schedule Notre Dame. Okay, so where do you think Notre Dame is going to put their football team? They're going to join a conference. You're trying to get them to join a conference. You think they're going to join the Big Ten after you said you're not going to schedule them? You're already struggling, and Notre Dame's not joining the ACC. Where would they go? They're not going to the Big 12. They would go to the SEC. Well, okay, you're the SEC, and you're going to refuse to schedule Notre Dame. Well, we're not going to talk to the ACC. We're not going to join the Big 12, and now we're frozen out of the SEC. Where does that leave them? Can the SEC afford Notre Dame to join the Big Ten? No, they can't. No, they can't. No, they cannot. Like, there's no math. It doesn't work to say you're going to freeze out Notre Dame, because every one of these conferences will pull their pants down right now and grab their ankles to get Notre Dame to join their conference.
Exactly.
It's the biggest brand in college football, basically. Their TV numbers are not great. I agree. But their scheduling is not the issue. It's not the issue. And you look at their schedule, they already play, half a dozen ACC teams every year. You think the ACC is going to stop scheduling Notre Dame? What is the ACC without Notre Dame? Not good is what it is. You think the SEC, you think the Big Ten is going to stop, you think Purdue's going to stop scheduling Notre Dame? You think that's happening? You think SC is going to stop scheduling Notre Dame? That's not happening. That's not happening. Bro, I don't understand. You think Georgia Tech's going to stop playing Notre Dame? You think Navy and Army are going to stop playing Notre Dame? Come on. The crowds at those games. Do you see the LA Coliseum, which I'm telling you now that it's renovated, is one of the great palaces of college football? Do you know what that place is like when you schedule Notre Dame at home and it's at dusk? It's one of the great environments in college football. It truly is. And all you're doing, and I think people don't understand this, all you're doing is you're making Notre Dame stronger and better. And they're already, you look at the recruiting class that Marcus put together this year, we're good, dude. They're already, you follow the Notre Dame players on social media, bro, they're already banging in the weight room. They're already banging, like, You're putting a kid in New York. Is Jeremiah Love going to win the Heisman? Probably not. My guess is Pavia and his mom are going to win the Heisman. Oh, wait, wrong.
Which is ridiculous.
My bad. There you go, buddy. That's my guess. I am a Fernando Mendoza believer, but is what it is. So we could go. Whoa, look at that. Calamoni gives 20 Monty Show memberships. You know. If you're not a member now, that's on you. You know, whatever. Let's see. Did I read Hero 75's comment? Survive the hunt. Bro, you're supposed to throw your phone in the lake. Oh!
Sign stealer guy.
Remember Connor Stallion threw his phone in a lake proudly and defiantly. Sherrone probably should have done the same thing. Delaric for $5. Hope the playoffs go to the top 24 are in. 24 and 25 play first to get last spot. And don't do bracket. Do like NFL high-low seeds. Love it. Freaking love it.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of that.
Yep.
I want a play-in game. I want a play-in game. I absolutely do. Oh, yeah, I did read Hero's comment. I did. All right, can we argue over Landman for a minute? Jake?
Yeah, dude, please educate me on why Landman sucks.
I'm not saying that Landman sucks. I'm saying that Landman is an average ass show. Okay, I don't think it's a bad show.
Bro, what are you paying for right now?
Dude, you don't even need to fucking know. My life.
Bro, did you just pull out a checkbook over there, dude?
Yeah.
Did I see that right? What, the old Venmo wasn't working?
I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it. And you know what, man? I haven't physically written a goddamn check. And yet,
The ink isn't dry yet.
Because our friend on fucking WhatsApp can't figure out how to mail a package. And Donald freaking Trump, you're killing me. Donald Trump is absolutely killing me right now. And I don't even know. Like the tariffs right now.
Brutal.
Are killing me.
Brutal.
And I am telling you now that it is ridiculous that I am sitting here writing this check to UPS for $45.46. And it is outrageous to me that that's what I'm doing. Right? Like, I just don't even know.
How?
Because it's a 45.46.
6'7", 6'7".
My wife happens to walk in. $42.45. You know, like it's not like I have a job to do, right?
Right.
I cannot tell you. I am actually, you guys, I am writing a paper check, and I have not done that and I don't know how long. I don't even know how long. This is the life I live. So I'm ordering a sample of a product I'm going to list on Amazon. And this dude sends it to me, and there's a tariff on it. And it's like he doesn't want to pay the tariff, so now I got to pay the tariff. And it's like, bro, this had better be the best freaking product sample I have ever gotten, because it has been a roaring pain in my ass. Like, I can buy a Rolex, but I can't buy a... Come on, bruh. Like, when's the last time you wrote a check, Jake?
I've never written one.
You've never written a check?
Nope.
You've never written a check?
Not a single time in my life. I've never written a check.
You know, I want... You guys are... Yeah, paying Jabba's buyout. So good. Monty loves those MAGA tax breaks. I mean, tariffs.
Yeah, the farmer buyout, dude. What? That doesn't apply to you? Come on. Come on.
Yeah, this is the funny part, Perling. The sample is $60. The tariff is $42.45.
Oh, my word, bro.
Remember the Knuckle Deep boys? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's about what I paid for one of my samples. Yeah, that's about what I paid. And by the way, though, I will say the supplier did say the tariff cost was included in the amount. So I do find the whole check situation a little odd. You know, that you're having to do that.
Is UPS rolled up. I live in a condo tower. The concierge called me and said, "Hey, what do you want to do with this?" And my wife happened to be walking in at the exact same time. So it kind of, you played yourself. And on top of that, it's just like this had just better be platinum and gold.
Hope so.
That's all I can say about it.
Sure hope so.
And it's fine because my e-commerce business, and I appreciate all of you who ask me about e-commerce because a lot of you DM me and, Gumby says I offer my samples tariff-free. Also, dude. Conundrum wants to know if you can write in cursive.
I can.
Midweek Coug. How? I have to write a check because my ridiculous health insurance doesn't take e-check. Oh, my God. I knew a guy who got a mail order bride from overseas. He did not have to pay any tariffs, and now she is the first lady. That's interesting. Gumby. Did you mean "suh"? Oh, he did mean "suh," actually. Exactly. All right. Can we argue over Landman, please?
Yes, quickly. Let's do it.
You have to go. Jake's got to go, so we probably can't. But my point, Landman doesn't suck. It's just not great. It's not elite.
Okay, what do you not like about it, though? Like, what's the issue?
It's got fake TNA in it for no reason whatsoever. But
it's a Taylor Sheridan show, so you understand that there are certain, characteristics with that.
I think the acting, the wife on the show is
incredible, in my opinion. I mean, just the obnoxiousness of it. I was annoyed with it at first, but then you begin to appreciate her talent as an actor. The character she portrays is amazing.
It's too much like, I think, and I could be wrong, but doesn't Taylor Sheridan have Tulsa Kings as well?
He did Tulsa Kings, I believe, but his big claim to fame is Yellowstone.
Well, of course, yeah. I just think that it's a good show. It's compelling. We're getting through the first season. The other problem is it's very predictable. He's going to either get shot or strung up or severely beaten by the cartel. Mm-hmm. I'm on the episode where the cartel showed up at the rig, and everybody pulled their guns out. All the stereotypical black guys on the show pulled their guns out. And now they're like trying to work out a settlement with the stupid son who you would never get in bed with this girl, and
just give it time, dude. It develops. I'm telling you, it gets better.
I'm 3/4 through season 1. He's about to get murked.
And Game of Thrones didn't get going till like 2.5.
By the way, he's not going to get killed. They're trying to like build this thing up like Billy Bob's going to get killed. I can't remember his name, but Billy Bob's not getting killed on this show.
Yeah.
He's the star of the show.
And you have to admit he's good in this show, dude. He's really phenomenal.
Good. I'm a big Billy Bob Thornton fan, though.
Yeah.
So it was never a question of was he good.
Maybe it's just a generational thing, dude. Maybe these shows just aren't, because you're not a Lioness guy. You weren't a big fan of that. That was too violent. Now you feel like this is too predictable. Like,
it's not. It's lowbrow TV. It's made for stupid millennials.
What's highbrow TV then?
I said it's made for anyway.
Tell you what? Why don't you just go back to the West Wings and Miami Vice, and you can you just live in that era of TV.
I just want more, better developed, deeper topic and character development. His wife's rack has. I'm never going to say no to a hot blonde, especially an older hot blonde who's got a great rack. Who's saying no to that? But do I really really need his daughter saying, "Well, Dad, I wasn't going to have sex with him. I was just going to J-job him."
But that's the funny part. He then tells her to lie. He tells her to lie.
And then she goes, "Oh, I was going to read the Bible with him."
That's funny, bro. I was just funny as hell.
Okay, open this goddamn show. Open this thing up. I need to see this. Mrs. Monty has procured the cannoli.
That's what fucking ticks me the fuck off.
If I could explain to you how shitty November has been,
it's December now, just so you know.
Same thing. If I could explain to you how shitty December has been for me,
it is what it is.
We'll get into it tomorrow. The Monty Show, as always, presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. We're going to finish this stupid Landman conversation. The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. The latest on Warde Manuel tomorrow. Jake might be at his house. He might be wearing a hood with the cartel chained to a chair.
I might be in the Iraq. You never know.
I would point out we've already seen Billy Bob strapped to a chair by the cartel once in this show. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.